should have never gone on those Vin and Sassy calls. That's something I should have never done. That's something I should have never been part of it, achieved nothing. I got nothing out of this. I don't know why I was in those calls. But in the sense of having Lio in my hand, yes, you heard the call where he's literally crying, or not crying, but shouting at me. He's like I said, we were friends. You said we were friends. I had that guy controlled completely. He played into every
But
single thing I laid in front
how
of him.
does
So our last live stream, we covered the Sasu Frasu call, right? I had my criticisms on Lio and Ponder Sprocket specifically in regards to that call. Now, Sasu has approached me publicly on Twitter and has asked that that situation not be talked about again. And Sasu is a really shitty person. I limit my communication with Sasu. I don't want to talk to Sasu. I don't have any intentions of talking to Sasu because they are just a shitty person. Okay? I don't like Sasu. Sasu is not completely innocent in this situation. But I was criticizing Lio and I was also criticizing Ponder Sprocket. I also am super disappointed in Crystal because Crystal participated in the Sasu Frasu call. And Crystal, at the end of the call, even says that call went well. And it's like, my guy, literally, this guy had a mental breakdown in the call, and you're going to sit here and say, oh my God, yeah, that call went well, guys. I'm absolutely disappointed in Crystal Flame. During the live stream last week, she was contacting me and reaching out and saying, oh, I heard you had questions for me. I don't want to have a confrontation with Crystal Flame because if I do have a confrontation with Crystal Flame, I'm going to say things that I'm going to regret. I'm absolutely disappointed in Crystal, right? And Beckett says I'm soy, that's fine. I acknowledge I'm soy. I do agree with him. I am soy about this. But I'm not going to sit here. It would be absolutely 100% hypocritical of me to sit here and say and criticize Lio for the shit that he's done, but not criticize you are soy, but you are free. Thank you. I appreciate it. But not criticize Crystal for the stuff that they have participated in. I feel like I'm being hypocritical by doing that, right? And Beckett and I take a different approach when it comes to the Lio Convoy stuff. Beckett's approach is more laughing. I'm more accountability, right? So Beckett may be able to like get away with like not criticizing Crystal, right? Beckett still criticized Crystal, which is great, good on them. I appreciate them. Glad that they criticized Crystal in this call. But I wouldn't be able to get away with it because I'm the accountability person. If I did not criticize Crystal, or if I did not let Crystal know that I'm disappointed or disavow Crystal, Lio could have every right to criticize me, or would have every right to criticize me and say, well, you criticized me and Ponder for the Sasu call, but you didn't criticize Crystal. And then I would just be the same as Lio Convoy. And that's not me. That's not who I am. I can't be like that. That's not in my value to be like that. So it is in my value to call it like I see it. And I called it like I see it. Crystal is specifically bad in the Sasu call. I didn't like it. I feel like Crystal, the other day, Beckett said that like Crystal is like a people pleaser, or they come off as a people pleaser, and I I don't disagree with Beckett on this one. I think Crystal likes to please people, but I think because they are so willing to please people that it gets them into trouble. And they get they're in a light of where they're not trustworthy or people are less inclined to trust them because they're so in the middle with things and they try and please people around them, right? My advice to Crystal is to like take a step back, stop. Like don't be in the fucking don't be in the cat's lair because it's gonna get you into trouble. Lio's bullshit. Lio's a Lolgal. He's gonna keep going. He's not. He doesn't realize to stop. He doesn't realize that when he stops, I stop. Right? When he stops his Lolgal behavior, I stop covering him. He doesn't realize that. He's gonna keep going. And Crystal, being in the cat's lair, is going to be involved naturally because they're in the cat's lair. If Crystal knew what was good for them, they wouldn't be in the cat's lair anymore, or they wouldn't participate in any of these calls anymore. They would just take a step back and cover the glitch tail stuff. Now, let's talk about the glitch tail stuff. Let's talk about it because I care about the glitch tail stuff. Okay. I don't know the exacts or the specifics when it comes to glitch tail situation, right? But Crystal, although I have criticized Crystal in this situation, and although I'm disappointed and pissed off at Crystal for what happened in the Sasu call, that does not mean that anything Crystal says about the glitch tail stuff is incorrect or wrong. Okay? When Crystal comes out with their content about the glitch tail victims and what happened specifically, I will take into consideration their content. And I will take it very seriously because I think Crystal is a very good investigator. I think Crystal's very great at researching things and looking into things. So it's not just because the stuff that happened in the Sasu call and just because I'm disappointed in Crystal and I'm mad at her, that doesn't mean I get to dismiss everything that they say because that's not right either. But let's continue. So this call was uploaded by Crystal, right? This call, the date is right there. It took place on June 6th, 2024. So it was after the Sasu call. And it occurs between, and I think it was after the debate with Gilded Poo and Lio. Okay. So there's, yeah. I even think it was after or even maybe it was before my live stream on Sasu. Let me check. Hold on. It was after. Hold on, guys. Let me see. It was for sure after the Lio Convoy debate with Gilded. And it was after the Sasu call. Let's see. Let's see if it was before my live stream. I don't think it was before my live stream. I think it was after my live stream. I think it was after. This call took place after we'll just say it took place after. This call took place after the Gilded debate, after the call on Sasu was released. I had gone over it on my live stream. I criticized Crystal, and it was after, it was after all of that. So this call has Beckett, Candy Rain, Crystal Flame, Lio Convoy, Mexican Dom Casciuto or whatever. I have no idea who that is, and then Monstrous.
Thingy, hi Crystal. Yeah, I don't want nothing to happen that day. Yeah, okay, I'm the one. Whoop.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play this at normal speed because I don't want to miss anything. Let me turn up the volume so you guys can hear.
I'm the one with 200 model kits in my closet, and I've done none of them. But I'm the nerd. Okay. Whatever, Lio. Hi, Crystal.
Hi. Did I do something?
No. No, I was making a joke.
Oh my god. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. I don't care about the little introduction part. Also, I don't have issues with Monstrous. I'm just indifferent towards her. Oh, also, um, um, the malware call came out, right? I didn't really care for that call. I didn't really think anything of it. And the only reason why I didn't think anything of it is because I learned from Beckett that Mally was a person that also participated in the Lio Convoy calls that were specifically toxic in nature, right? So Mally going around and being like, well, Lio, you're just horrible. Mally had the same takes as I had in that call, right? So Mally was saying the same stuff that I've been saying this entire time. I don't really care that Mally is saying it because Mally is kind of hypocritical in saying, well, Lio, you're just absolutely horrible. You should stop covering shit like this. And it's like, whatever. You are dumb. You are stupid.
It wasn't mad. It was like, son of a bitch.
There's a great bit where Zach notices the behind the thumbs.
Mally did it on behalf of Crystal. Oh.
Zach, like, this thumbnail's fucking terrible. I was like, why are you doing this? And I was like, you see my monitors? And it's like, oh shit.
Oh my god, what is this? What is this? I'm just gonna fast forward because I hate the multiple levels of audio. I hate it.
Oh, I found it.
Oh.
I don't know why, but Asuka's the one that did it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hold on, guys. Vader broke into my room, but now he wants to be let out. So let me let Vader out. You silly puppy! You're so silly. I think boyfriend's making food, and Vader wants his table scraps because boyfriend always gives Vader table scraps. Okay, now we are back. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
She was like, she was saying to me, how like, oh yeah, no, I had no issue with you, Crystal, just now, and now suddenly kicks Pi.
Okay, I don't know why she did. I'll ask.
I should clarify. So Beckett says, oh, I should clarify that one Mally was an orbiter at one point, but has stepped back from that a while ago. Think some stuff got lost in translation with me, and Mally spoke to me about it. She's cool. Okay. All right. Regardless, I still don't care for the Mally call. There was like, Lio only says in that call, the only thing I care about in that call is that like, Lio's like, you don't want to talk to me about Leigha, and that's it. I thought that was funny. I thought it was a lull, but I don't really care about that call.
Later, because he's not even on staff anymore. And the reason you got banned from Senate is because I banned most people I could find from Senate. It's archived.
I know, it just seems very...
Like, I'm looking at the room right now, and it's only showing me.
Oh, that's another thing. Crystal was banned from the Senate archive. Now, when Crystal was like banned from the Senate archive, it gets explained here, so I'm not going to further elaborate on that just yet. But my opinion on Crystal getting banned from Senate was that it makes Lio have the appearance. I know I said 4 p.m. I'm sorry, Magnetar. Sorry. Makes Lio have the appearance that he's not being transparent by banning people from the Senate. Okay? That's just my opinion. But I do understand, like, Beckett will push back on Crystal And I do understand where Beckett is coming from in this part of the call. So Beckett makes good points right here that I didn't think about.
And Norden, because Norden went in there to find something.
Yeah.
I literally can't see anybody else in there on the sidebar.
It just seems very coincidental. Like from my point of view, right? That's a call goes public. Then I release a Mali's call because literally Mali asked me to, and then suddenly multiple things happen, like which I've already sorted behind the scenes.
Yeah, sorry, Joy. What happened was Magnetar messaged me yesterday and was like, "Oh, when do you start your streams?" And I was like, "Oh, 4 p.m. Central," and I started much earlier. So yeah, that's what he's giving me shit on that. I'm sorry, Magnetar. I love you. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But then Pi gets kicked,
Why,
and then everything like that. It's like, huh, okay.
why didn't you? Why didn't you ask?
You're lagging a bit.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Joy.
Why didn't you just ask?
Oh, it's just like I don't know. People remove me. People for blocking me. No one came to me. Like, okay, sure, I understand how it wants. Because the people who have come to me, like Sin, they have an interesting approach.
Okay. Okay, but the point is, like, you may not have connection to the people who removed you, but if you're concerned about something that's happened in my servers, why I haven't removed you? You could have just asked.
It's again, it's not the concern. Like again, like the distance is happening. Like that's happening now.
So what is happening right now is Lio. They're talking about Crystal being banned from the Senate archive, and Lio has a make sense approach. Lio makes sense in this approach. I'm not going to criticize Lio right here. Lio says, "Well, why didn't you come to me and talk about that?" Right? But at the same time, Lio, like you just went around a second ago copyright striking people without talking to them about it. So, like, I don't feel bad for you. But your approach is correct. I will give you that.
That's just how people have been coming at me sideways. It's interesting. Not you, it's like other people and like your associates. It's interesting.
If it happened, well, Grim removed a lot of people, so that has nothing to do with you. But if it's happening now, why are you in Guac Barrel?
I'm just a curious soul. That's all. Like you know how I roll with that. I'm just curious what's going on.
Okay.
More than that.
Okay. I see we have RC in the call.
Who?
I'll see.
RC. They're in
RC.
Cat Slayer 2? Yes, RC. I think they are a car.
Who cares?
Well,
Really?
hello.
Nobody?
I think
Tough
I've
crowd.
interacted with you a couple times.
What?
Here, see if I can get something done today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Gidget. I know you want all the love, and I've been.
Oh
giving you
my
plenty-
God. I don't give a fuck about your cat,
Plenty of love
bro.
today. Which one?
Yeah, one Gidget.
Okay, wait, like, can I ask you a
You're not
question?
getting Gidget. You can ask me whatever you want to.
When it comes to like stuff with Sin, stuff like that, with how they've been coming at me sideways with people, like, has that have any involvement from you or?
No, he tells me after he does things. He never tells me before he does things.
Yeah, he's like, why did you make it public? Because Mali asked me to. But why did you? It's like, because Mali asked me to. Again, it's how I've held myself consistently. It's been like, if a main talker in the call asks me to do it, I will make it public. I said it to Monstrous last night. If
Okay, so I have a pushback on that. Like, although Mally is asking you to make it public, right? And I don't have an issue with the Mally call being public. That just makes me think Mally is like only morally grandstanding against Lio just to virtue signal. Like they were an orbiter. They didn't participate in the specific calls, like Beckett just said. But it makes me wonder if you're just virtue signaling. I'm curious.
Monstrous or Asuka or Efron asked me to make the call, no, I wouldn't. Because again, they weren't a main speaker in the call. But if you ask me, or if Mali asked me in that call, it goes public. That's just how I roll.
Oh, Obituary says also regarding the Mally call, I think Mally did want the call to happen, but Ponder was the one who set it up. I don't think Crystal made her go in. Okay. If that's true, that you make a good point right there, and that does give me perspective.
Well, Gigi, I know you want all the love.
Dude,
I'm not giving you Gidget, monstrous.
Oh my god.
Gidget's
'Cause
my
you're
baby. You can have
tyrant.
somebody else.
So out
You're
of
a
interest,
tyrant.
just out of interest, Crystal, did Mally come to you and ask for the call to be released?
No, because apparently, so I figured out it was becoming a talking point. Streamline made a tweet saying like, oh, here's the involvement in the call. Like, okay, why has this suddenly become a talking point? So I reached out to Mally, being like, hey, do you know why this is a talking point? And we had a bit of a conversation. And actually, I was meant to make the call public basically a day afterwards because Mally wanted it like that. I didn't know that. I misconceived what she said to me. So that's why I made it public now, because I knew she wanted to have it public. That makes sense.
I have a question on that point.
Mhm.
So Melly wanted the call public. How come Melly didn't just do a gallery call?
I don't know. I can't answer for
denied
Mally on
it.
that one.
I denied a gallery call because Mally had said previously to me that she didn't want any involvement with any of the weirdos I had to deal with, and I knew putting her in a gallery call with that would make her a target.
okay, let me stop you right there, Lyle. No, that would have not made her a target, okay? You are theory crafting right here. You are theory crafting, buddy. Okay? That is a theory craft. That is such a reach right there. Nobody would have an issue with people confronting you in gallery calls. So the only target that I would possibly think Mally would be putting on their back is a result of people in your Discord being freaking unhinged. So, like, it makes me wonder, are people that unhinged in your Discord that you can't have gallery calls of people confronting you and saying you're an idiot? What? I'm curious because the detractors are the Lio detractors. I wouldn't have had an issue of a gallery call occurring in the cat's lair and Mally saying what they said. I don't know.
I think the better question, honestly, is if Mally wanted it public, why didn't she do it?
Oh yeah. I think I actually asked Crystal this question
It's just like
yesterday.
one of those things I can't answer. That's a question for Mally to answer.
I don't care who makes it public. It's public. Like, who gives a fuck about the logistics, whether it was Mally or not Mally? Who gives a fuck?
It was like literally unlisted on my channel the day of like the call because Mally wanted a copy, and I guess I just didn't understand that she also wanted it public. Hence why it was just unlisted. And now I've only made it public because I was aware that she wanted it public.
Sounds good.
Oh my god, dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
I do have a question that you ask you and Monstrous you guys would be out for later on.
I've got things to
what
do later
time?
today.
That's fine. Like just next coming days if that's okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you can DM me now if you'd like.
So Crystal, throughout this call, Crystal's microphone breaks up. I think all they said was like, I have questions for you guys.
Yeah, I can
And then Lio was like, oh, I have stuff to do.
reach out to you. I want like both you and like that's in relation to it.
Okay.
calls.
That's
Yeah, now it's like something I would talk to you in DMs about.
Dude, Dennis the Menace is in
That's
this
fine.
call.
It just
Also-
depends on, I guess, when the
If they're
line is
calls I've had
available.
publicly, I don't care about answering them publicly.
No, it's one or more private call.
Magnetar for the 10. Since Jessica Pizzle isn't live streaming, get this tenor instead. Thank you, Magnetar. I love you. W. I think John Williams also super chatted. Let me read John Williams' super chat. He super chatted a long ass time ago. I apologize, John Williams. I'm so sorry. John Williams says, I'm reminded of an old analog horror series, quote, copyright strikes occurs when someone uses another work or they say stuff I don't like. So true. Thank you guys for the super chat. I really appreciate it.
So that's why like I want to talk about a private call.
JFA says, I assure you, Leah, I'm not in that call. They missed out. Literally, they missed out, JFA. They should have added you.
And also, do we know where Zach is standing with the DK logs? Because in Zach, it's probably a question more direct to Zach, but I'm just asking an overall question. Is Zach going to be making the BK log public sooner rather than later? Because it was a month ago when they said they would make it public, and that hasn't happened.
Oh, another inconsistency from Zach. Not surprised. It would be interesting to see the BK logs.
What are we talking about?
The BK logs. In Zach's video interview with Cosmic, Zach said that they will make the BK logs public, and that was a month ago, and that hasn't
Oh, cute. That's so cool.
happened.
Your dog is in your lap.
You probably forgot.
Fair enough. I'll chuck Zach a message then.
Now, you said it's about a call, right?
Mhm.
Is it the call I had?
Sorry, you cut out.
Is it the call I had with you and Jibs and Hayden?
No, not that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not that cool.
What call is that call? I'm utterly curious. What call is that call? I can answer this one. The BK logs contain huge amounts of personal info, phone numbers, etc. Gonna try and get someone to clean it. Oh, okay. Because I want the stuff hidden. Yeah, I don't want to be doxing people. Okay, so thanks for answering that, Beckett.
Even though I was in quotation a main speaker in that call, that's not my call to release. If that makes sense.
Oh, somebody else already did.
Wait, they did?
Crystal, you were asking about it in the Thunderdome. Vlad brought it up. Vlad knows.
Who
Why would-
cares
No.
if Vlad knows?
No, I think Vlad misinterpreted my words in relation that's cool. I don't think they were talking about
No.
the Jibs call there.
No,
No, Vlad is-
they were talking about the Jib School Crystal.
They were. Oh,
Yes.
generally, I thought
So-
they were in
I want to know what that call was.
the Sasu call.
But we may not know what that call was, but now that it's being mentioned, I want to know because I'm just curious.
So the Jib School's known about.
Okay.
It's just, okay. So the Jib School is known about, but as far as I'm aware, there is not a public release of that call.
Yeah.
That's what
But they
Vlad
plan
was
to.
referring to. I don't know is the answer to that.
Beckett says, honestly, they were just kind of dumb and not careful. Probs should have gotten clean by this point because lots of interest, but meh. Okay.
The fact that it hasn't come out already suggests that I don't know if there's a plan to. But it's not one of those things that I don't know. Yeah, it's more that its existence is known about. Whether people have viewed it is something I don't know. And by the way Vlad talked about it, I would suggest that he has not seen it.
Yeah,
knowing
because
his
I generally
context.
thought they were in Sasu call. The
No.
call. That is news to me, generally.
Well, I might have to do something, but we'll figure that out when it comes time.
What? What do you got to do? Release the call?
Out of interest, so you had the Mali call
Yes.
after the Rin call happened,
Yes.
and you
So this is where Beckett starts to question Crystal, and I do not disagree with Beckett questioning Crystal. I do not disagree with it.
so the Rin call happened and didn't come out for what? Like, what was it? A couple of days?
No, the Vin call posting. I was the one who made that call public.
Okay.
And I think literally the day after. Like, I apologized for it, made it public, made my clarifications.
Okay, so you saw the issues with the Rin call.
Yes.
Why didn't you see the issues with the Sasu call?
So I do see the issues with the Sasu call. I'm not defending my standing in the Sasu.
So this is where I think, like, the point that Crystal is about to make right here. I think Crystal, I suspect. Okay, let me rephrase. I suspect and speculate that Crystal is lying to Beckett here. That Crystal is downplaying. The only reason why I think this is because there's no fucking way. There's no way that you can look at both of those calls, the Sasu call and the Rin call, and not say any of those calls were bad. Okay? I think what happened is that Crystal is selectively picking, and this is a very bad faith interpretation, right? I'm making a lot of assumptions here. Okay, guys? So don't take it as a don't treat it as facts, okay? Because I'm being bad faith, okay? And I probably shouldn't be bad faith, but I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys that I'm being this bad faith. I think what I am assuming is happening. Let me say the word assumption instead of thing. What I am assuming is happening is Crystal put out the Rin call, knew about the Sasu call, didn't put out the Sasu call because they specifically look bad in that call. I think Crystal is selectively, or I'm assuming Crystal is selectively picking and choosing what call to put out on their platform so they don't look bad. That is very much why I am very pissed off at Crystal, because there's no fucking way. There's no way that Crystal can look at both of those calls and not realize that the first time that call happened, that the Sasu call isn't as bad as the Rin call. Okay? They're both bad. They are both bad. I'm not going to sit here and put Sasu Frasu on a pedestal because Sasu Frasu is a shitty person, right? I don't care. Right? I care about Rin. The Rin call is bad and the Sasu call is bad. I think Crystal is selectively putting out which call on purpose so they don't look bad. And that's what pisses me off about Crystal in this situation, is because Crystal is trying to come off as being transparent. And this is like a move that you do when you are not transparent at all whatsoever and you are trying to hide something. I personally do not like it when people hide things from me. I don't like it. I do not like that calls are just being discovered. Like, I seriously fucking hope that there are no more calls like this and we don't fucking sit here again and discover another call that went south in the cat's lair before Lio made the rule of no gallery calls, right? I am sick and tired of finding these calls out after the fact. I am also sick and tired of people going on their platform and saying, oh, well, I have an issue with that call all of a sudden now that it's being leaked. Now that it's public, I have an issue with it. Well, if you really thought that call was bad, right? If you really thought it was bad and you really had a big problem with it, you would have called it out right then and there. Not privately, but publicly. That's my issue. You call it like you see it. Don't privately go to Lio and say, no, this is bad. Publicly go to Lio and say, Lio, why the fuck did you do this? I'm releasing the call. People are not doing that in the cat's lair. And the reason why I have an issue with that is because it looks hypocritical. People in the cat's lair are more than happy to jump on Lio behind the scenes privately, but they jump on Kumo for what he's done publicly. Or they jump on Enla for the jokes that they've made about Kumo's situation publicly. So you guys are more than happy to fucking call out people publicly in public settings. Ponder. You're more than happy to make these fucking videos, but you can't make a video about Lio Convoy? And or you can't make a video about the SCK server? I have a problem with that. That's why and the reason okay, let me backtrack. I have a problem with it. I feel like that's hypocritical, right? And because it's hypocritical, because I feel like that's hypocritical, I'm going to be the kind of person that calls out their friends in a public setting, okay? Maybe it'll be actually no. I'll call it out in a public setting. That's just who I am. Okay?
Cool.
Okay.
It's something I am going to be replying to. I have already apologized to Sasu. I've already talked to development parties. I've already had Leigha doing that Morley grandstanding thing with me. That was fun. But no,
Crystal, I don't like it when you sit there and say Leigha is doing this morally grandstanding thing and saying that was fun. Okay? I don't agree that people had a call with you in Endless server. I don't like that people had that call. But it wasn't like the Rosa Ray Ramsey call. So it's just like, whatever. If you guys are going to have a call like that in Discord, y'all are going to have a call like that in Discord. Whatever. But don't fucking sit here and be like, well, Leigha morally grandstand against me. And that wasn't fun. Crystal, you do the same thing. Like, that's like me sitting here and complaining that people are morally grandstanding against me. I'll never fucking complain about that. Never. If I do something wrong and people want to morally grandstand against me on my actions, that's on them. Go make a video about me. I don't care. Go do it. But don't fucking sit here and morally grandstand and then be like, well, that was so much fun. It's like, come on. I like Leigha. Honestly, they seem pretty chill and can take a joke. Yeah, I love Leigha.
I do disavow the Sasu call. It should have never got to that point.
Okay, but you saw the issues with the Rin call instantly.
Yes.
You had the Mali mod call where the Sasu call is talked about in a positive-ish light from the perspective of Ponder.
Yes.
And glossed over Monstrous's issues with it, which were very public. But it looks like you didn't have an issue until like other people began to have an issue with the Sasu call within the last few days.
It's no, because again, if you go through my with Kuma and Enla spoke about when it was explained to me from a different perspective, I understand huge fucking issue. Like I understand.
Okay. I need to pause right there because I have an issue with Crystal on that Kumo live stream. Crystal went on the Crystal went on Kumo's live stream with Enla and made a big deal about being banned from the Senate archive. Right? And I have an issue with that because Crystal, you're specifically going to people that don't like Lio and complaining about Lio. And like you're supposed to be friendly with Lio at the same time. It's like, what the fuck? What the hell?
Again,
it also makes me think you have ulterior motives. I specifically did not like Crystal being on Kumo's live stream.
Perspective, which is now being cleared up, but at the time it was the issue with me at the time of the call, how I perceived it, and again, it's in the Mali call where
kind of sneaky. Yes, it is kind of sneaky. Hey, H-Dobbs, my dad always told me this: be wary of the friend that comes up to you and talks shit about other friends to you, because you can only imagine what they're saying about you when you're not there. Be watchful of that friend. If a friend comes up to you talking shit about other friends, you better be watchful of what they say when you're not there. because they could very much be talking shit about you. I think Crystal is that kind of person.
Reiterate this, so it's not me changing
I'm making a huge assumption there, but I just get the feeling.
the narrative. It's that I fully issue what people
I'm like side-eyeing Crystal.
had with me in the call that I was being too passive. I wasn't being hard enough on him or shit like that. I understand now that it even got to that point where he was mentally breaking down because it inadvertently became a game of good cop, bad cop. I do see how that's an I do see how that call should have never led to that point.
Okay. Do you understand? Like, it's weird. It is incredibly fucking weird
Mhm.
for you to be on the side of watching these things happen over the past several months, logging everything, like recognizing issues with the call. I swear to God, I'm going to stop fucking mentioning, but we all know because Peach has leaked it, and I'm getting sick of people talking about it. With the Rosa call, with the stuff that happened with Kumo, which was again actually in some ways quite similar emotional manipulation.
You guys are really mad at Crystal, huh? Y'all are really mad at Crystal. Why? I just want to know, guys. Why are you guys? Why is there? And maybe it's because of me. Maybe it's because I've like gotten like super mad on previous live streams. Why are you guys super pissed off at Crystal? Are you talking to us? Yes. I'm talking about chat. Why are you guys mad at Crystal?
With the
So absent today says because we were rooting for her and she fucked it up so many times. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Pudgy. Why wouldn't we be? I just want to know y'all's reasons. I'm not trying to get you guys into a gotcha. Okay? I just want to know specifically what you guys think. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Same. I'm not mad. Actually, I'm indifferent. I don't know what to think. I'm disappointed for sure in Crystal. For sure disappointed. I'm also disappointed she seemed to want to distance from Lio after making her video. Yeah. I feel like so there's this kid named Colton in commentary, right? And Colton used to have a tendency to like put himself in the middle of dramas. And every time Colton would put himself in the middle of commentary dramas, it would always end up bad for him. Like people always ended up hating Colton. He did it like with the Mama Max situation, and it got to the point where people were like super pissed off at Colton because Colton was being like super clout sharky, right? I'm even like super pissed off at Colton. I think this is like the treatment that Crystal is getting now from the audience or from you guys because Crystal, like you guys said, Crystal has been like, oh my God, let's be transparent. Yeah, let's point out the evidence. Yeah, Lio's absolutely horrible. Lio's gross, but then like plays the other side of the fence. I think they're the Colton in the art commentary community, possibly.
Raven call, with the Rin call.
Deep Sea Monster says because more and more is coming out about Crystal, but the latest one, Crystal let Lio tell a pedo to delete everything and run away. They went into other communities. Okay, so justified reason. Absent today says she's also representing a group of the victims, yet keeps getting into drama, and each time she's dragging them into it along with her. Yeah, oh, oops. I could see that. I don't think Crystal's negligence takes away from the glitch tell call or the glitch tell stuff. Wait, Crystal is on the dib call? No, I don't think Crystal is on the dibs call, the dibs rose call. I didn't hear Crystal's voice. Maybe I miss. Okay, Deep Sea says yes. Okay, Slippery Freak says yes. Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering it. Oh, they were in the call. No, you guys are right. They were in the call because I remember. Yeah. So Beckett, they were in the call because Crystal was talking to Dibs Rose and was like, "Oh my god, dude, I was actually on your side in the call, but as the call progressed and as this stuff is coming out, this is absolutely horrible and you're absolutely predatory." And then Crystal then turns because the victim is also in the call as well, the Dibs Rose victim. Crystal also turns to the victim and is like, "Oh, you're so strong for being in that call." Oh my fucking god, I was so right. No fucking shot. Yeah. I forgot. Sorry you guys, I totally forgot. It slipped my mind. But yes, Crystal was in the Dibs Rose call.
I haven't heard the Rifleman J call, so I don't know what's in it. But
I haven't. I want to know what the Rifleman J call is.
it feels like
There's a level
Like,
of cognitive
I keep-
dissonance where my understanding, which I've been isn't how I've held myself within that Slayer and how it is. The Vin call was the final.
It's not just Cat Slayer, Chris.
So Zad says, so again, Crystal knew of Dib being a PDF and said nothing. Okay. So now I guys, I'm not trying to like be super mean to you guys or anything. I'm not trying to get y'all in a gotcha. I just wanted to know why you guys are so mad at Crystal. I was just curious.
Crystal, you did this right at the start
Thank you for helping me. Thank you for answering my question.
of the drama with your call with Peaches. I mean, you had information on Peaches that you then tweeted out the following day or two.
No. So this
Um,
is something that is mildly annoying that people generally haven't watched my video, and then made accusations on it. It was a very fast-moving situation where Peaches downplayed the FCK situation heavily to an unholy degree. They downplayed their involvement. I was naive enough to believe that, given the context of why would they lie to me.
Crystal, I think you're getting this wrong because I think Beckett was right in saying that you did have information about Peaches because I remember going over your thread about Peaches and you showed extra amino screenshots of Peaches invalidating victims. So I think you got either you got confused with what Beckett is saying or like you're lying. And I'm leaning towards more you were confused on what Beckett was asking specifically.
Given all the help they provided in the glitch shells. I said to them they need to make that public thread to acknowledge their mistakes if they genuinely are sorry. They did that. Within that thread, there was the amino screenshot, which were revealed. This was only found out after they made that public thread. And after that happened, I then made my public thread. The second I found that information out about Peaches, I disavowed Peaches. So it's not like I was standing on this information for ages. It was literally the second I found out about it, I disavowed them.
But it seems like, okay, and that's fine because your video had like your audio was completely fucked in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like what you're doing is okay. I need to go and talk to Peaches and help them put out an accountability thread for the FCK stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out more, and then you put out your thread.
Yep.
You delete a section of your thread. You go back and forth a little bit. You have a fight with Sarah. This is a very condensed timeline. You have a fight in Sarah's server with Lio.
Yes.
You then, when the
I would want to know what that fight was about. Why were they fighting in Sarah's server?
Peaches stuff happened, kind of both put your shit aside.
Was it because it was probably because of Peaches. Never mind. I don't care about that fight. Never mind.
And start working with Lio. At the same time, you're still releasing calls and going on streams that are anti-Lio. And then you're moving closer into Senate to like archive it, but also becoming a modding cat's lair, ending up on modding these calls, one of which is
So I did think it was weird that Crystal was like a mod, because like Crystal was saying while they were being a mod in the cat's lair, they were like also saying, I'm distancing myself from the cat's lair. I'm distancing myself from Lio. I don't want anything to be part of this, or I don't want to deal with any of this, right? And they like, I still would see them in cat's lair calls. So I was just like, okay, well, you're not making the effort into distancing yourself. So yeah.
being phrased by some people as worse than the Rosa call. And like it needs to be pointed out to you that these are problems, while you're also jumping on everyone's streams and going, well, here's my take, and involving yourself as a drama player, and sort of at the same time putting yourself as a voice forward for.
I hate asking questions version of me is really unfunny. Why? You only like being funny, Beckett? I think you asked really great questions.
For an entire victim group. I mean, it's kind of hard to not read that. It's incredibly clout sharky.
Yeah, no, I can understand. There was no reason to involve myself in the Vin and Sassy call. It doesn't follow anything how I was trying to hold myself. It makes no sense. I am full agreement of that. Hence why, again, after the Vin call, I was done.
But you weren't done. Like you're. This is why I don't believe Crystal when they say that they are done. You say that you're done because of the ring call, right? But what? Like, why are you still around? Like, why are you still like fucking hanging out between both sides? Like, why are you going on Kumo's stream and being like, "Oh my god, I've been banned from Senate Archive," or you're also hanging out with Lio in calls, and it's just like, I don't think you're actually done. I think you like being in the middle. I think you like being the Colton. And I think it's giving you shit, Crystal. And it's like, how are you done with the Rin call, but you go through the Sasu call, and that's not your line in the sand. That doesn't make sense.
How did the conversation go to set up the mod call with Mally?
That is more of a question of Lio.
No. How did the conversation go with you and Mally to set up the mod call?
That's what I'm saying. It's more of a question directed
You
towards
literally.
Lio.
The problem is you literally gave people questions to ask me, Crystal. So there was some sort of conversation happening. That's what Beckett's getting at.
Oh, that bit. Oh, yeah, sure. So I was aware that. So basically, there was a call with Mally, and I figured out that Mally was going to be confronting Lio, and I wanted questions answered, but I couldn't answer in the way I wanted. So I posed a bunch of questions to Mally and tried to indirect direction in relation to it.
Okay, so you had a direct line to Lio, and were part of this call, but you brought in an outsider to ask the questions you wanted to ask?
No. Again, I wasn't.
KHD for the $2. It's because Crystal is getting clout from it.
Mally.
Thank you for the $2. I really appreciate it. I also like. I do think Crystal is kind of clout sharky.
Fine. I was just informed that Mally was going.
Okay, but why would you give Mally questions when you would be on the call to ask Lio yourself?
I didn't think I could word it correctly at the time.
I don't believe you, Crystal. I literally don't believe you. I think you're lying to Beckett, and I think you're downplaying this. I think you didn't want to catch heat for the questions that you would be asking, or the confrontation that you would be having. I think you have something to hide, Crystal. I think the reason why, or actually, I'm not going to say I think. I assume that the reason why you don't want to confront Lio the way that Mally confronted Lio is because Lio can easily turn and say, well, you also participated in these calls too. and then you wouldn't have anything.
Okay, so that mod call itself, like, did Mali? So when you heard about it, how did you hear about it?
I heard about it from Lio, and yeah, I heard about it from Lio. Then I worked out the
Again, thank you for the super chat. WKHD, thank you.
mystery guest, which was Mally, and then I reached out to Mally.
Okay. So okay, so again, what's weird about that is you seem to have a problem as a mod for Catslayer, a server that many of us have pointed out is like an inevitable fucking shit show, like quite publicly, right from the off.
I don't disagree with that. It is a shit show. I even think Lio should just delete the fucking Discord. Just delete it. Make content on your YouTube channel, but don't have a Discord. I don't even have a Discord. I don't have a Discord. And I still make content on my YouTube channel. And there's still ways to like reach out to my audience. I don't think you need a Discord. So just delete it because it's not helping you.
And it's like your vector for airing that grievances isn't even direct. And again, it's that weird thing of like you came into this call and said, hey, I know things are drifting apart. I'm just trying to see where people are and why people feel a certain way that they do. But like, it's almost like you, because again, it's just the optics of giving Mally the questions to ask, so you don't have to ask them. So potentially you're not burning that bridge, but you still get to get the shots in that you want.
Why I don't get it. Like why do people care about Lio Convoy so much? Why? Like why do you guys why do people in the art commentary community look to him as he is a leader? He's stupid, guys. He's not a leader. He can't even make the right decision. I don't even think he showers. Like why do we fucking treat him as if he's like some golden role model in art commentary community? Why? Stop putting him on a pedestal. I think Crystal like puts Lio on a pedestal. Oh my god, dead air.
No, because again, if like let me just give you an example here. Lio,
Yes.
you're a faggot and you constantly fuck up all the time.
Based! So based! Don't disagree with you.
No, no comebacks.
Okay. Like, it's not hard to
That's so cringe, Lio.
do that and not burn a bridge. But if I went, hey, Monstrous, can you go to Lio and call him a faggot who fucks things up all the time? And as if you're the one who's saying it, so I don't get any pushback, that looks like kind of fucking snaky, right?
Leah, what did you want the quote for the drawing to be? Our dear leader. Dude, are you if you're gonna make a drawing so awesome. Our dear leader.
Yeah, it can be backhanded. I do agree.
Because I mean, the position you're in, to be clear, is it looks like you're playing all fucking sides. Now, I think because I listened to that mod call, and here's my take on the mod call, as a very general thing. I have no issues with people taking shots at Lio, because I think Lio does a ton of shit that is worth shooting at. You've just joined here, but I've referenced this on stream. Monstrous has been here for this. Other people.
I've called myself the F-slur since I was a team. I'm keeping it. Okay.
Will support me. I've had
A team.
blazing fucking rows in this server with Lio.
You're darn right you have.
But you know, what's a good way to put this? But I'll go out and say what I think, whereas
Oh, teen. Okay.
it seems like you'll say oh yeah, I'll hold this person to account. And then when you're there, it's very chilled out. And you're like, and it's kind of like trying to have it.
Hey, Teeth. We are going over. So what's going on right now is we're going over a call that is happening between Beckett of Crabs, or Beckett, Crystal Flame, Lio, Monstrous, and who else is important in this call? Really nobody else. Gallagher. Gallagher would be important. And the reason why I'm going over this call is because I want to give my takes. I don't have disagreements with what Lio said in this call, except for in regards to Rin. I have disagreements right there. And I want to specifically highlight the confrontation that Crystal is facing, because they've kind of been caught playing both sides of the situation.
Both ways, which is weird because it's like you saw the Rin stuff happen on the Mali call coming up.
SGC382 joined.
And actually, what's the timeline for that? Like, so the Rin call gets released the next day, and then
I leave Cat Slayer only to find out that there was a mod call. So I joined back Fort Mali.
Why? Why would you join back? Literally. If you're so... This is what I don't fucking get. This is my issue with Zach is not Kyle. This is my issue. Is the inconsistency. Why are you leaving the Cat Slayer because it's so bad, but then coming back and participating in a mod call? It's like inconsistency. Now I have an issue with you, Crystal, because you're inconsistent. How about you stick to what you say? Oh my God,
right,
dead air.
okay.
And then I leave afterwards.
When you released the Rin call, what made you
Like, this is why I do not blame Lio. If Lio, I wouldn't blame Lio, and I wouldn't disagree with Lio if he ever does say this. Crystal, if Lio ever says that you are not trustworthy or I don't trust you, Crystal, I don't blame him. I literally don't. And the reason why I don't blame Lio is because he goes, like, you go, not he you go, not Lio, you go and leave the Discord, you make an announcement, and you're like, oh my God, I have to leave. Cat Slayer, it's just so horrible. It's so toxic. I'm taking a step back, but then you go back. Why are you going back? Are you just going back to record the calls and release them on your platform? I'm curious.
release the Rin call?
Because I noticed it myself that it was a terrible call. I didn't hold myself how I wish I would. I made it public.
That call wasn't terrible. There's something wrong with you people.
Okay, that's where I disagree with Lio. That call was absolutely terrible. You are a fucking idiot. You are absolutely stupid.
We can fucking fight about the Rin call at a later point.
You're abusive, Lio. You're literally abusive. And I'm going to say it again. It is not up to you, Lio Convoy, being the abuser, to decide if that call is well or if that call isn't well. It is the perception of Rin to make that call. Not you, Lio.
Jesus.
And your credibility, even if it were your call, your credibility isn't 100%, Lio. The reason why I say your credibility isn't 100% is because you've had multiple occasions of having specifically toxic calls with people that you probably shouldn't have been toxic with. So if you want to sit here and get upset because, like, people are criticizing you over the Rin call and you're complaining, maybe don't have the call in the first place. Don't be a dickhead in the first place. How about that? It's so simple.
Okay.
That's like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, guys. It's like me. What Lio is doing right here is like me complaining that people are calling me a bitch or calling me a cunt. Well, Leah, if you are so upset that people are calling you a bitch or calling you a cunt or they're saying you're mean, then don't be mean. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a cunt. So simple. Remove the perception of that. And Lio's not really good at removing that perception. He's really not. He can't fucking help himself.
When you have talked about things like what about the ring call made you feel like you weren't holding yourself to the right standard?
I don't like reiterating which have already been addressed with people. I don't like doing like constantly saying the same point over and over again like it's new information. I didn't know, and I didn't look into it enough, that Vin has already been held accountable by 4 different people for not asking the victim permission to use. I didn't know that, and I held it against Vin as the idea. I didn't like that. During the call, there was multiple points of contention which I wanted to raise with Lio, of how Lio was mentioning Vin's, again, which I have done privately now, where Lio was raising Vin's family, where now I figured out it was meant to be a one-on-one call.
Okay,
and,
when did you raise?
Crystal, I don't. This is where I get confused because it's like, Crystal, all of a sudden you have issues with Lio contacting people's family when in the past you have known that Lio contacts people's family. So it's like, why do you all of a sudden have an issue with it? Why do you all of a sudden have an issue with Rin's dad getting called? Again, it's the consistency that I have an issue with. You have an issue with people contacting Rin's family. You have an issue with Lio contacting Rin's family, but you didn't have an issue with Lio threatening to contact Dib Rose's family or mom. Like, what? That does not make sense.
Raise those points with Lio.
In God, maybe the day after the Vin call.
Okay. So you raised the points with Lio.
But I wanted to do it in the call, but I didn't because I got too emotionally distracted by the point I should have known about beforehand, which is on me.
When did the Mali mod call happen?
Mali mod call happened on the 5th, 25th.
And the Rin call was, just so I got it.
The ring call was May 16th.
Vin call.
Before, it was a couple weeks before.
Okay. So you'd had that conversation with Lio.
Mm-hmm.
You then stepped down from Katzler.
Yes.
And then when Mali was having the conversation, you came back. Now, like, I'm interested, like, in your
Welcome back, gamer.
version of the call because it's 20 minutes shorter than the full version.
Oh yeah, no. I also heard that.
Okay. This is where I have another issue. Why are you cutting out calls? Like, because this makes me question your credibility, Crystal. It really does. If you're going to release a call, release the call entirely. Don't fucking sit there and decide what gets released and what doesn't get released. If it's the last 20 minutes of the call and they're like saying fucking doxes, then I get that. Okay. I get why you would cut that. But if they're just talking, why would you cut it? Because now I question whether the calls that you are posting on this channel that I'm witnessing right now are the full calls or if they're credible.
Wait, I'm trying to think. I have cut it off because again, I cut it off when Mali left. There was an essential version, but I recently trimmed out the last bit because again, it's the Mali call. So I don't think the other stuff where it became a lot more of a friendlier back and forth is relevant. And like I did ask people
Even though it's not relevant, that's up for everybody else to decide. For transparency purposes, you should have left it in.
in the server, do you think keep? Most of them said no, hence why that last bit was cut out.
Okay. When were you talking to people in Endless server about this? Cool.
Literally, like as I released it, we were together.
Okay, but you had an unlisted version up already, right?
Yes, the unlisted version I made public, and then it was 2 hours and 59 minutes. But then the last 20 minutes was like after
Timmy, you're okay. Obituary, you are okay too. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Ali left, and I asked, "Do you think it's relevant?" Because again, it just divulges in just friendly back and forth and stuff like that. So I didn't think it was relevant to the call. I asked people in the server, "Do you think this is relevant?" They said no, so it's gone.
Oh my god, dead air.
Okay.
It's just an internet drama that Lio is involved in. Okay. Beckett says the part that got cut out was when her partner started talking, which is what made me question it. She also started questioning on Kumo's if mine was edited. Wouldn't have even questioned it otherwise. See, okay, like she can't really jump on people. Like Crystal can't really jump on people about like if it's the full call, if she's doing that same thing in return. Like you're throwing stones in glass houses.
It's just it looks like a really weird cutoff point.
Oh yeah, no, because again, I use YouTube Editor to cut out the bit.
Well, no, it's just weird to cut it at all, I guess.
And for a second, let's talk about their partner. I had the idea because there is a call that I watched where Lio is asking Crystal specifically if if their partner has been made mod in the cat's lair, and I had the perception of that question that Lio is just going around modding people in the cat's lair as like a bribery kind of moment. I'm gonna bribe you with mod status so you can be on my side. That's the only takeaway that I got from Lio's partner and Lio specifically. I don't think anything Lio or Crystal's partner, sorry, I misspoke right there. Crystal's partner and Lio Convoy. I don't think anything that Crystal's partner would I don't think there's anything, sorry, that Crystal's partner would say today that would make me criticize them. Crystal's partner has been the most uninvolved person in this whole situation. Like Crystal should probably take a note or two from their partner because they're not involved. They only got involved when they were talked about in Lio's Crystal Flame video, which has now been deleted.
It's like I'm like, even if it's not relevant, like you still get a sense of what the call's like afterwards. I mean, it's just one of those weird ones where I've got.
And I do think it's odd that it's specifically Crystal's partner that's talking that Crystal cut out. Like, what are you trying to do? Protect your partner? Like, I don't think your partner would say anything that's super bad.
Because I've got a call that's longer than yours, basically.
And it makes me question your credibility. It's your partner of all people that you're cutting out from the conversation.
Yeah, no, that's
So I'm
valid
just
because like I did myself at one point when the conversation was literally just going on, just talking around and stuff. I did cut it off. So even if I didn't trim the version which is already unlisted, well, already public now, there would be a weird cut off point nonetheless.
Okay. So when you're looking at kind of how people are viewing your actions now, like you're making a response to the Sasu call. What is your response?
No,
to the
not
Sasu?
just a Sassy call. My approach in the cat's lair as a whole.
Okay, so what is your response to that as a preview? I mean, well, well, you're saying that you see a clear issue with this article with your actions in Cancel. What is that response?
I could to you if you'd like. It's the draft. I'm slow as fuck with that. But
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dead air.
it's monstrous as well.
Who's Jibs again? Jibs was Jibs is like an innocent party that hangs out with everybody. They were I don't want to like just make their identity solely like a victim status, but I'm just going to say it, okay? Jibs is a really cool person. I love Jibs. He's awesome. All right. Jibs hangs out with everyone. Jibs is chill. Jibs was they are not a YouTuber. They were specifically groomed by Joshua Vita.
Is
Oh my god. Why?
Okay.
Jibs was in the Sasu call? They were? They weren't speaking in the call. Were they in the gallery?
Okay, I'm just having.
Oh, yeah, they were in the May 18th call. Yeah. Okay, yeah, yes, you are correct. They were in the May 18th call. Why can't I remember this shit? What's wrong with me? I have no idea what's going on with my head today.
Let me read through.
SGC 382 left.
Oh my god. Come on. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. We have dead air. Dead air.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me just sort of like place where I'm struggling. Because to me,
Okay.
when I read these responses and I read your response to the Rin call, in this YouTube comment I've got, should have tried to push my personal stance on victims supporting it onto Rin.
Okay, so my one issue with the multiple statements that Crystal has about like calls, specific calls that are that have that they have participated in. How many statements do you need in order for you to figure out that you probably shouldn't be in calls like that? Because it would just take me one statement to realize, one call to realize that I shouldn't be in the cat's lair and that the cat's lair is specifically toxic. And I become less sympathetic with people that keep releasing statements on several different calls. And they're like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I take accountability. Or I'm sorry, I participated in that. It's like, you're just willing to run into the brick wall and keep running into these issues. I don't think you're really trying to fix the issue at hand. So I'm less sympathetic towards you. How many statements do you need to release?
It seems like, and again, like with the because you had a fight with Lio in Sarah's server. It's like you've got these very strong stances that you've done something wrong, and you need to take account for it and reflect on it. And you understand that.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you.
But then
fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, completely agree.
You know, like a week passes, and then we're like sort of back at the same place. Because I mean, you said like you're feeling that distance drawing, but I see these comments, and it's a lot of well, I've enabled Lio's behavior, and if your viewpoint is you've enabled Lio's behavior or you're getting brought into this and you shouldn't have been, then don't you want that distance? Isn't that
Yeah,
like
no, I'm not.
Why do you continue to enable Lio? Like, if you enable, come on, guys. If you enable Lio and you acknowledge that you enable Lio, why are you continuing to enable him? Like that's absolutely fucking disgusting. You're not being a great friend to Lio by continuing to enable him. If you know he's a shit person, then you know he's a shit person and you should call it out in a public setting. Be a good friend. Stop enabling him. Like, it's not that hard. Literally not that hard.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just acknowledging that I'm noticing it is. I'm not saying like, oh, how dare there be distance? How people dare distance them? No, all that be fucking stupid. Just saying I acknowledge that there is distance.
Well, but I mean, you just tweeted out that, like, isn't it surprising that I released the Mali mod call and then people started unfriending me and I got removed from Senate?
Yeah, no, because I do find it interesting. I'm
What?
going to.
Come on, Crystal. Come on. I don't fucking like this shit. I don't like fucking tiptoeing around this shit. This is probably why I don't want to have a conversation with Crystal, because I fucking hate this tiptoeing bullshit. I hate it. Beckett is asking you a direct question, and you are sitting there and being like, well, I do find it suspicious. I do find it weird. Come on. I was about to call you tipster. Crystal, just say your actions. You made that tweet about getting kicked from the Senate because you wanted to paint Lio in a bad light. And people actually fell for it. Okay? Just admit your actions. Let's not pussyfoot around the fucking thing. I fucking hate that shit.
Acknowledge that this is.
And again, this is probably why I can't have a conversation with you, Crystal, and I probably don't want to have a conversation with you, Crystal, because if you acted like this to me in this call, the way that you're acting towards Beckett, I would be yelling at you. I would have an issue with you. And I'll probably say things out of anger that I'll regret later. So it's probably like a really great idea if I just never fucking talk to you.
This is what's happening. I find it interesting.
But I mean, isn't that what you want?
It's one.
Isn't that what you yourself are doing?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you're distancing yourself from an environment that you think is making you a toxic person, aren't you also distancing yourself? But then also
OMG, he did not reference to title. He did.
posting screenshots of people doing it to you like it's some big suspicious thing.
Trying to do it. It's just that, again, it's appearing to be very coincidental with a lot of it, but it's just like people who said I could be transparent, I could talk about it, could make all this.
You're not being transparent, though. You are not being transparent. You're literally not. You're not. Like, you deserve this kind of criticism, Crystal. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit around this. You deserve this criticism, and it's because you're not being transparent. When you sit there and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be transparent. I have to distance myself. Cat's lair is just horrible.
All this stuff public, when I actually do something go against the idea of what is a good faith way of approaching it.
And I want it noted, I am being somewhat soft in criticizing Crystal. I want it noted. I am not yelling, and I am not criticizing Crystal the way I criticize Lio. And maybe that's hypocritical on my end, right? But I want y'all to know my approach is being soft right now.
Then this response is happening. That's what I'm pointing out. It's just like when someone actually is trying to be transparent, when someone actually is trying to talk about it, this is a gap. That's how it feels for me, at least.
Okay, but you can say that, But I mean, it isn't. Well, this is the response people are going to get. It's well, that's kind of like the conclusion of that call. I mean, if you're saying that you already left Katzler, that you recognize in your statements that Lio is the problem, then that's an inevitable bit of distance that people are going to draw.
Also, how many times do you have to figure out that Lio is the problem, guys? How many times? Again, this is where I become less sympathetic on your end, or less sympathetic towards you, because you're just barely now figuring out that Lio is the problem, Crystal. Are you serious? Hello? What? You just barely know that Lio is the problem. I'm not buying it. I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
With you.
Yeah. Valid.
But if it's valid, then why tweet it like it's an accusation?
Because again, like maybe it's accusation, reality, like there's distance happening, acknowledging that it's happening. 'Cause people are still asking me questions constantly about.
Crystal, you're bullshitting. You're bullshitting. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. You're fucking bullshitting. I have no idea how Beckett just like. Well, maybe I know how. Maybe Beckett just let you speak about this because he's trying to get you comfortable. I don't know. I don't know the intentions of Beckett, so I'm not going to speak for Beckett. But it's like, I don't know. I think you're just bullshitting. I think you're like fucking blatantly lying to Beckett right now. I don't think you're being fully honest or upfront with your intentions. I think you got caught. I think you got caught, like Zad is saying, caught in 4K. I think you got caught in 4K being a shit stirrer.
Association with Katzler and everything like that, even though the tweet on the 25th, even though the distance before that, it's like people are still bugging me about it, or like to make distance myself and like, hey, this is happening. What's going on?
Well, I mean, the reason people are bugging you about it, Crystal, is because you went from, hey, we're going to call out Peaches and Lio and the bad behavior and the stuff that happened on the Jibs call, to, hey, I'm Lio's mod.
I never asked for it. That was not.
Well, I'm not saying that you asked for it, but you utilized.
Okay, see, that's where I think Lio is like bribing people with mod status. Actually, I just suspect it, guys. It's speculative. Don't take it as a matter of fact, but I suspect that's what Lio's doing.
Yeah. But again,
So, Ashy, what's happening is Beckett is confronting Crystal Flame on like being wishy-washy, being flip-floppy, and like stirring the pot, stirring the drama up. Crystal has been caught like playing both sides of the fence, where like Crystal is so quick to go on their public platforms and be like, "Oh my god, oh my god, Lio bad," right? But they're more than happy to go on Lio's side and not say it to their face. So it's kind of backstabby. Maria says going to get some rest. Feels sore from 4 piercings in my ears. Oh, okay. Have a good rest. Leah, Lio just threatened to Lio just threatened to throw someone into Monstrous Thunderdome over talking about copyright strike stuff. Let me know if you want screenshots. I want screenshots. I want to talk to Lio in the Thunderdome. I want blood sports with Lio. I want to confront Lio about the copyright stuff.
that are in. I'm not denying that, and I'm not saying that's okay in any.
I mean, I suppose my core question is, how can I trust you?
Trust me in what?
Well, I mean, let's say you come to me and say, hey, I've got this thing that's happened with Lio that's really fucked. And you should cover it. Do you know, like, yeah, like,
In your DMs. Okay, let me switch to the BRB screen. Now, keep it up, and I'm sticking you in Monstrous Thunderdome. Well, Lio, I want to have a conversation with you in the Thunderdome. You little bitch. You little bitch. That's hilarious, though. I think that's so funny that he's using the Thunderdome as a threat. Dude is a fucking locale.
people do that all the time, or with other people.
Thunderdome, let's go. Yeah, literally. I want to have it. I want to have blood sports with Lio. I want to know. I want to talk to Lio about the copyright strike stuff. I want to know his reasoning.
People, and I'm like, yeah, cool. That is funny. But
I'm sure Kumo is going to talk about it on the 16th. So
how can I trust that there isn't like a ton of other stuff you know about that either you keep, like, because you've got the Senate archives, for example, you were going through them. Like, how do I know that you haven't stumbled across things like that you've gone, oh well, I'm cool with Lio, so I'm not going to release that bit because I'm cool with him now, or
I
that
haven't. Like, I was questioned why I made. I've been questioned of why I made the Mali call public. Like, I get questioned of why I released. I've said if I see something I take issue with, it's the same thing I have with features. Even during the FCK situation, I was like, if I see something
hey, Ray.
of concern, I'm not going to come to you. I'm going to make it public.
well, yeah, no, I mean, sure, but you say that, but you're actually so inconsistent that because you can say that it's like, well, this is my action, but the inconsistencies in your actions make that statement less trustable, right?
Only
I agree.
bit of inconsistency with that is generally disaster call. I agree with that. That was incredibly inconsistent. But again, I did.
No, Crystal, bro. That's not your only inconsistency. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's not your only inconsistency. There have been lots of instances. You have been consistently inconsistent, Crystal. You've been consistently inconsistent. You have had multiple statements where you have said you're walking away from the Senate, you're walking away from Cat's Lair, all this stuff is bad, and you're going to focus on the glitch tail stuff. And you have yet to do that. So it's like, no, it's not just the Sasu call that shows your inconsistency. Come on.
I did come to Lio when I noticed the point of talking. I was like, okay, Lio, can I make this public? And I was told not to. I didn't have access to the disaster corner. I left the Cat's Lair then, so I couldn't download it or make it public on.
And although I'm getting very mad right now. I'm going to try and not be unhinged because I've been unhinged the last few live streams. Although you say that you didn't have access, hi Palinaful, you didn't have access to the Sasu call and you couldn't put it out publicly, that does not stop you from publicly calling it out. We found out about the Sasu call after the fact. And we found out from Gilded, of all things. And you, Crystal, even took it to the point where when Kumo and Enla had found out about this call and had listened to parts of the call, you even said in the recorded interview that Kumo and Enla had with you that these calls should be made public, that people should know about the call, and yet you still did nothing. You didn't even call it out. So what the fuck? Like, I don't care whether you fucking had access to the call or not, or whether you could download it or not. That does not stop you from pointing out what is wrong.
Once. That's not me.
Okay, but you
I should
could
download that.
you could have made people aware that the Sasu call existed, right?
Yeah, no,
Beckett's right. Beckett literally just made my point with like less words. Jesus, Leah.
I absolutely could, and I should have. I don't know why I didn't.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't give a fuck about shoulda, woulda, coulda. I pay attention to your fucking actions. Okay. I need to calm down. I pay attention, Goose Faba. I pay attention to your actions, Crystal, and your actions, Crystal, are telling me that you are only willing to speak out against a call when it's public and it's after the fact. Never before. And that's why I don't take you as a credible source anymore. That's why I don't take you seriously anymore. That's why I don't believe what you say. Hey, Mizzy. What?
I mean, when you're looking at that, okay, let me ask you this: how do you
Hi, Enla.
ponder after the Sasu call?
Fun fact, Lio's driving during this call. Yeah, it's another instance of him driving in Discord calls. Like, he already did it with the fucking Asher Morningstar call where he's driving, yelling at people in Discord, and now he's doing it again. Bro, fucking stop, dude. Stop. For the love of God, stop. Just take a second away from like Discord. Polina Full says, Leah, you sound disappointed. I'm not surprised though. I was kind of expecting Crystal to be a snake since your last live stream. I am disappointed in Crystal. I'm slightly sorry. I keep stuttering, guys. I apologize. I'm slightly aggravated towards them too. I don't like it when people are inconsistent. And I do not like it when people fucking lie and fucking bullshit. I don't like that shit. Oh my God. Come on.
I haven't really
Come on. Dead air.
a standpoint.
Dead air. Dead air.
That's not me trying to be flaky or anything. I haven't really.
But you can see why I asked.
Yeah, no, generally,
right?
no. That's a good question. And this is not me trying to bullshit or PR.
Because this is my question. This is my question to Mally with the Mally mod call. Like, listen, I'll be honest, and I'm probably going to say this tonight or tomorrow. Like, Mally wants to swing at Lio, based. Cool, I'm all for it. But from what I found from Mally.
So Beckett has already corrected this. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward because Beckett corrected this, and I do not want people to get confused. So I'm gonna fast forward about the Mally statements. Ebo Jen says, I don't know much about what Crystal has done so far. I only heard about the fact that she intended on gatekeeping videos so that she could protect Lio, but I just wish her the best.
Well, we need to. These calls don't work. They don't achieve it.
So, Emogen, I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but I also think she's not protecting Lio. I think she's protecting herself. I think she's doing an optic check on her end. She sat there in the Sasu call, thought the call was great, but then didn't publicly call it out because she participated in that call. I think she's trying to protect her public image, and it's not working because people are catching her in inconsistencies. People are catching her playing both sides of the fence.
Anything from Mally, and what I'd like, and what would persuade me.
But I do get what you're saying, so you're not incorrect for having that opinion. It's a good opinion.
Is Mally coming out and
Hey, Jessica.
say, "Oh yeah, shit, Crystal and Ponder, I was wrong. They're fucking psycho."
Happy Sunday, Jessica.
I can't believe they didn't tell me before this call.
Hi, Sony.
That the Sasu call existed. That would persuade me. Because if Mally sat there going, well, Lio's a real problem, because yeah, fuck Lio. Sorry, buddy. But like,
Yeah,
but then going,
You ain't my friend.
Crystal and
Lio, you're cringe. Shut the fuck up. Like, literally shut the fuck up because you're fucking cringe. Just don't fucking say it. You're fucking cringe. Just don't speak. You're cringe. Emo, I'm also cringe too, so I probably shouldn't be talking. Emogen says, thanks for the info. I'm not going, oh my God, I hate this stuttering, guys. Thanks for the info. I'm not going to pretend that I know the full extent of things because I don't. I can get selective at what actions I'm focused. LOL. That's okay, Emogen. I'm kind of sometimes the same way too. This drama is a very complex drama. There's lots of paths. Or there, oh my God, I'm stuttering again. There's lots of things, that are. There are a lot of complexities that are tied to this drama, so you're totally fine. Beckett says Mally basically did this, by the way. She did this during stream and is based for this.
Honda didn't do. Lio's a real problem because fuck Lio. Sorry, buddy, but like, but then going,
You ain't my friend.
Crystal and Honda did nothing wrong, guys. That's a pretty big inconsistency for somebody taking a very strong moral stance, which isn't just I hate Lio because he's a dick.
I do agree with like Beckett right here, where it's like all three of those people are bad. Why? So when it comes to the Sasu call, we've been pointing out Lio's actions this entire time. It is now Ponder's turn. It's now Ponder's turn because I think in that Sasu call, Ponder was the worst one out of all of them. The worst one. Absolutely fucking toxic. It's deplorable. I think I'm using that word right. I'm more focused when it comes to the Sasu call. I'm more focused on Ponder than Lio when it comes to the Sasu call. I'm more focused on Crystal than Lio. Okay.
Right? Like that's where my issue lies.
1 space left.
I can give a bit of context as to some of my behavior.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video calling out Ponder and their participation in the Sasu call. There's gonna be a video about them.
And I'm resolving is that the glitch cell victims aren't happy with how I've been, and it's very much of the idea that this is their words, not mine, that I'm the new figurehead
You use the word right. Okay, thank you.
of the glitch cell situation, and with me talking about ACC and CC stuff, and me distancing myself or making it publicly aware that I'm distancing myself, is going to
I know Lio took that personally. Probably.
affect the credibility of stories. So I'm in a position where
I wouldn't be surprised if Lio's like, oh, Leah's not covering me anymore. It's like, no. I'm still covering you, you little fucker, because you're a locale and you don't have any self-awareness. But I'm also going to cover Ponder.
I'm both told to talk about the ACC stuff and told to disassociate. Really fucking tricky position I'm in.
Well, it's. I mean, okay, I would disagree with you because
Shatterstar says, "Cop, you have the you have the right to remain silent." Lio, I will never be silenced, not by the likes of you. That's so funny, Shatterstar.
yeah, I don't think it's a tricky position in the same way that someone might come to me and go like, and I talked about this on stream because I think it is worth addressing. Why didn't I cover the Sasu?
Hey, Blake.
Because I don't want to talk about Lio. That's why I didn't talk about the Sasu call.
Oh, you're bored with me already.
Fuck off, Lio. You're fucking cringe.
Fucking weeks ago, mate.
Right.
Because I don't want to turn my channel into a fucking Lio hate channel.
I'm literally a Lio hate channel, and I do not like that I'm a Lio hate channel. I don't like it. It's gonna have to change, guys. I don't like that I cover Lio too much because I think I'm a Lio hate channel.
It'll kill my channel. Lio's gonna die eventually. this rate, probably soon. He's
Yeah,
gonna get
probably.
poisoned pizza.
Hey, don't you ever talk trash about pizza.
But
Shut up, Lio. You're fucking dumb.
regardless, like, it's pretty easy to make that
Dude, he's so fucking cringe. I just don't like it.
judgment call of, do I want to talk about the thing that like a load of people want me to talk about? Do I want to talk about the thing that I want to talk about, like Rikita Lore or Gull World or whatever? Like, if you care about the glitch tail thing, stop jumping on people's streams and trying to talk about Lio, right?
Oh, that's fair.
Hey, Teddy.
Because like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. You can tell
Oh, hi, Teddy. Teddy. Teddy, are you okay? I hope you're okay, Teddy.
from my tone, this looks pretty fucking bad. And I meant what I said when this started. Like, I think Lio is a fucking issue for people. Like, I think Lio is a fucking idiot. But I also think that it's not just about enabling. People use them as cudgel, and they like the power that comes with being associated with them. And you know what?
Lio doesn't have any power. I really wish people would stop treating as if Lio has power.
Fine, people want to have a laugh. There are people in this fucking call from the OGs who gain a lot of entertainment out of Lio, and they're very open and honest about it. But you know, if they turned around and started saying, well, you know, Lio's bullying people, that's really bad, I'd be like, yeah, you guys are fucking idiots then, because you did this. And it's like, you utilized that power, you gave into it, having
Teddy says, you know, getting by shit is a bit sad / scary at the moment. I appreciate the love and care. Yeah, I'm thinking about you.
criticized other
Teddy, don't stress yourself out, okay?
people for doing it.
It like if you don't I care about you, Teddy. If you don't oh my god, I keep stuttering. If you don't feel okay, that's okay. Okay?
And
You can take a step away. Hi, Lindsay.
I would pose to you the question that Mally posed to Lio. What makes you think that you're the person to do this?
I almost forgot. Lio has said the reason he gets his morals is from 80s cartoons. Oh my god, what a loser. Dude.
To like talk about glitch tales, to deal with ACC stuff, to hold Lio to account.
So glitch tail stuff, personal victim, teacher stuff. Again, they would have figured out the glitch tail situation, and they caused so much distrust and actually
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you, Teddy.
give Kamita a 1-up.
Okay,
So-
but you've taken that position that you're in and used it to put yourself on a platform to talk about Jibs, to talk about Lio, to talk about ACC and Katzler. You haven't.
About Gibbs,
What?
like on my channel to that hasn't happened.
But it's not just about your channel. It's about like what you're saying in other places. The fact that you're a modding Katzler. I mean, I suppose the question is this: like, you said that your alt's been banned from the Senate, but I'm pretty sure, could be misquoting you. I
What?
have to go back and listen. In the Mali mod call, you're like, well, I'm done. I left because I've got everything I need. So
What? No way.
again, why does it matter that your alt's banned? It's little things like this,
No,
right?
It's more the idea of it felt petty. Again, I forgot.
So, guys, Crystal's microphone keeps cutting out, just an FYI. It's not my audio, it's their microphone.
My main, no, it was my main. What was it? I forgot it's even. It felt petty, just like, okay, I've made the Mali call public. Now I've suddenly been banned.
Oh my god.
That's
Come
just how I saw it. Like, okay, so I've actually been transparent without like going to people about it. Annoyed at me. That's that I've said from the beginning. I haven't.
Well, yeah, I suppose the thing is this, and it's like, again, it comes down to the ponder question. And okay, let me ask you this: if we in the future see a call from Mali doing what Lio does to people that you have an issue with, will you call out Mali?
Depends on my involvement.
I do not like that answer. I really do not like that answer, guys. Did you guys just listen? Beckett asked a really good question. Let's listen.
question. And okay, let me ask you this: if we in the future see a call from Mali doing what Lio does to people that you have an issue with, will you call out Mali?
Depends on my involvement.
Depends on your involvement, Crystal. Really. Depends on your involvement. A person with consistency would quickly say yes. Because when the first time I heard this call and Beckett asked that question, I immediately told myself yes. Immediately told myself yes. Immediately. The fact that Crystal is saying, well, it depends on my involvement. No, fucking call it out. I will call anybody out that is like Lio Convoy. If you are abusive like Lio, I got a problem with you because I don't think you should be on the internet. I don't think you should exist. Actually, let me rephrase. Blah, 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 blah. Rewind. I don't think you should exist on the internet without getting criticized or without getting laughed at. I think you should be criticized and laughed at if you are abusive like Lio. If Mali is acting like Lio, you will see me fire up a live stream and criticize Mali. To sit there and say depends on my involvement is absolutely fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. And that tells me that Crystal is only self-serving. Crystal only cares about their image. Crystal doesn't actually care about calling people out, doesn't actually care about pointing out hypocrisy or pointing out abusive, toxic behavior. They're only going to call it out because it just depends on their involvement. Gross behavior. I got really pissed off the first time I heard that statement. Really, Crystal? This ain't it. This is not it, Crystal. Teddy says, Leigha has been taking amazing care of me and everyone else. I hope everyone has been doing well. I've only heard very small things every now and again. Hope everything is okay. I'm glad Leigha takes care of you. Leigha has also taken over the FCK info account. So I really hope that will help bring forward better info. I'll keep an eye out.
Like, if I was as involved with Mali as I am Lio, yes, would.
Okay, so in that spirit, does that mean that like when you make a response to this, you'll call out Ponder and people like that, or is
no,
it just?
it's more again. I think I generally rephrase my script because same impression of monstrous what I did. I'm trying to put.
Crystal, you would be very stupid. I'm just going to I don't think you think this way, Crystal, but I'm just going to go ahead and outline this. You would be very stupid to make a video calling out Lio. If you make a video calling out Lio and demanding that he take accountability, I would sit there and fucking call out the hypocrisy in that video. I don't think it's a great idea that you make a video in regards to the Sasu call. Just take the fucking L.
Put the
It's not going to do you any favors.
blame on Lio when I'm more trying to own my actions, being like, yeah, no, I enabled such, and I said I would do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't. This is on me. This is a more
I'm not caught up. What's up? So what happened was a few weeks ago there was a call that happened in the Cat's Lair that was like specifically toxic, and it was in regards to Sasu Frasu. Now Sasu Frasu has a very bad past with the art commentary folks. I don't like Sasu Frasu. Sasu Frasu harasses people. Okay, Sasu Frasu can't control their anger, and they say things. All right, Sasu is disgusting individual. In that call, Ponder, Lio, and Crystal were in the call. Ponder and Crystal were specifically toxic in that call. Crystal has been posting calls about the Cat's Lair or leak calls of the Cat's Lair on their platform for transparency purposes and for in the name of accountability. But Crystal hid this call from us, from the public. And we found out after the fact that that call happened. And Crystal specifically in that call says that that call went well when Sasu had like a mental breakdown. So we are listening to the confrontation that Lio's about to have with Crystal and Beckett asking questions.
Consistency.
Because I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I've sat here and I said weeks ago that a mod call like this would occur to Lio's face. I said this would happen. I fucking called it again every fucking time. It's
This entire time I've been saying calls, the toxic calls. Even at the start of the Rosso Ray Ramsey stuff, when I first started covering Lio, I have said on several instances throughout my live streams that the Rosso Ray Ramsey call is not the only call that we will witness, that there's going to be more calls. And we are now into June. This shit happened all the way back in February. We are now into June and more calls have happened. Lio literally proved us right. Bye, Zaj.
It's getting boring. And I've told Lio to delete that server actually, or at least leave it.
Told you.
Yeah, or at least leave it. Like,
I say Lio delete the server and get rid of friends that are not there for him.
again, I don't disagree
One of them being Zach is not Kyle.
with the like sentiment of Mally.
I'm gonna have my nerd server, and I'm gonna read stories, and you guys can sit on attack.
That's not a nerd server, Lio.
Then call it a fucking Transformers server and get rid of the
It's-
fucking
it's-
galleries.
It's called the Cat's Lair. It's
Jesus.
a Thundercats
He's so cringe.
reference. Everything is Thundercat themed. The gallery is for story time.
Fucking Christ. I mean, okay, so this is like, I'm just being upfront with you, Crystal, because I mean, this is I can't talk about this Mally call without talking about your involvement with this shit, because
Bye, Magnetar. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.
it looks crazy, actually. And I mean, you saw Leia's response, which was very soy. But
I'm totally soy, guys.
you know, you've lost
I don't know what I have no idea what Crystal is saying about me right here, but I don't care.
I mean, you've lost. Yeah, I mean, like Leigha did the whole "I'm disappointed in you" thing. I thought you were better kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did think they were better, and I am disappointed.
Which is very soy. And I'm not an accountability channel. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to laugh at people. But this behavior is fucking clown behavior, Crystal.
It literally is. I agree. It is.
It really is. It's ridiculous, and it's
Sounds
you know.
okay. There is a bit of clowniness. I agree.
No, there's a lot of clowning. You might as well put the fucking clown makeup on your face because this is like, bro, you are a clown, or sis, you are a clown.
With the Sasu thing, but I'm confused on how it feels like how it would begin situation. Like literally day after,
With _Jesus joined.
I apologized. No, it was literally the same day actually where I apologized to Ren in call. I make the call public the second I can. I apologize in the comments. I disavow it. I don't get how that is held to the same standard as Sasu call.
Space joined.
What? Are you serious, Crystal? You don't get how that's held to the same standard? Saying sorry, whether it's to somebody specific or not, saying sorry means I will never do it again. And you literally did it again. Literally. You had the Sasu call first, and then you had the ring call. I don't care how remorseful you are. Again, I pay attention to actions. And your actions are proving me that you're a clown. You're inconsistent. I don't care if you're sorry.
I think the thing is that okay, so there's multiple ways I could look at that if I want to be uncharitable.
Okay.
Or if I want to be just to like, because you're like, well, why is it being held to the same standard? I suppose the way I'd look at it is this: you know that people know Rin, and you know that people talk to Rin, and you could have very well looked at that call and gone, it's gonna get out, because you're not stupid. You've been doing this for a while now. You know how these things work. Fuck, Lio leaked fucking calls, in a cut up measure to fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like you're unaware. It's like, again, you might have gone, oh, I needed to release that because otherwise someone else is going to.
That is like what Beckett is describing right now. That's literally an optics check. What Crystal is doing, literally optics checking. You're only releasing calls because it looks better on your end, optics wise.
Yeah, that is very again.
Well, it is uncharitable, but you're asking me why would I do it? And I'm like, well, there you go. There's a reason.
But it just feels like, okay, so that's a cool. I didn't release. That's on me. I didn't act as much. I should have never got to ended way before that.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't care. I don't care. Literally, you still participated in the call. Again, I'm paying attention to your actions. I've heard so many shoulda, woulda, couldas. God.
I get held for that, but then I do everything what has been asked. Again, I was in that.
But you haven't done everything that has been asked. Nobody, Crystal, nobody is demanding you, or at least it's not me. Nobody is demanding that you do things, okay? The very least that you could do is be fucking honest and call it out like you see it, okay?
That been cool.
Am I mishearing, or did Crystal say something about Laka? I thought Crystal and Laka were okay. I think they are okay.
Such a little amount of time. I jumped to end the server during halfway through of it when I was being overly emotional, catching myself out on it. And I found out, oh no, this information was already known, blah, 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 blah. And then I instantly thought, anyone cover it, anyone talked about it, anyone told me to do anything, I say, this isn't okay. Apologize on Twitter. Apologize
Sorry means you'll never do it again.
to Vin personally, make the call public, disavow it, and come. Everything that should have been done has been done and meet that degree.
But it's not just, yeah, I get that you've done everything. I get it, Crystal. Great. Good job. You've done everything. Do you want a cookie? Great. I'm so glad you've done everything. But you've done everything. You've done this on multiple occasions. You keep running into the brick wall of drama. And it's like, stop. Stop. Full stop. I don't feel bad for you when you continue to put yourself into the middle of things. I literally don't.
Because I thought
I don't take your apology seriously when you keep making the same mistake over and over again.
it would come out later. Anything like that is literally, I do not agree with how this call happened. I do not agree with the conduct. I was in there.
But you still participated in it. Although you don't agree, you still were part of it. You were still part of it.
I'm making it public because I still even today I have not heard the.
This I hate people like this. I just don't like. I'm sorry. I don't mean the word hate. I don't like people like this. I don't like it. I don't like that people are like, "Oh my God, I did this wrongdoing. Let me correct it." And then they just keep doing this shitty behavior. They keep doing what they're doing. It's like, come on. We're back.
Cool. I've only heard the segment where I was in.
Well,
Okay.
the part of the issue there, Crystal, is even with that, you're inconsistent.
Hey, Teddy.
Because why did you disavow the written call?
Okay.
Why did you disavow?
Why did this about it?
Okay, so so what is about to happen is Lio's about to have a high energy conversation with Crystal, and I do not disagree with Lio. I do not disagree with Lio. I don't think Lio was toxic in this conversation, and I don't think he was abusive at all. Okay? He's just having a high energy conversation with Crystal, and Crystal is more than capable of handling conversations like these.
Same reasons I brought to you privately. It was the veiled threats. It was a mentioning of family. It was that it was meant to be a one-on-one call. It was the idea that you brought a troubled person who had issues with their family and risked them being in a dangerous position. I've made this clear to you.
We're going to get
privately.
into all of that. We're going to get into all that again because now you're not dealing with somebody who's completely exhausted and beaten down because 90% of what you just rattled off is absolute garbage. And I'm getting really sick and tired of somebody being an absolute open scumbag to people. And
Okay. This is where I disagree with Lio. Although Lio is pushing back on Crystal, I do not like what Lio says about Rin in this call. Lio, if you know what is good for you, shut up. Full stop. Don't talk about Rin anymore. Leave Rin alone. Do not contact Rin.
and then getting their hand held when they get consequence. I didn't do a veiled threat to Rin. Your buddy
You did. You did threaten Rin.
Streamline sure.
And it's not, again, Lio, it is not up to you to decide whether that threat is a threat or not. You are the abuser. You don't get to decide whether you said a threat. That is 100% a threat. What I witnessed, what you said to Rin was 100% a threat. And Rin took it as a threat. So I don't care how many times you say that's not a threat or you didn't intend for that to be a threat. Don't care. It was still perceived as a threat.
Did to me.
It is your job, Lio, your fucking job to remove the perception of that. And you didn't do a good job. This is why I keep telling you, you should go back to like building toys or building action figures and just minding your own business. Delete the cat's lair.
Though, and now
Because you have a personal vendetta against Rin, and I implore you to fucking stop because it's starting to look obsessive.
just has the DM. So there's a couple things here. You say you didn't want to get on, you apologize to Rin because you hammered on something they already dealt with. Crystal, you do that to me constantly. You did it in the mod call too.
Yes.
Anytime we're in a situation, you keep bringing up how I wronged you, which, to be fair, you have the right to do. But you can't sit there and simultaneously say you don't like hammering on the same topic when you do it to me constantly.
Yes, the reason I do it to you constantly, I understand that's a tactic you use with other people. I disavowed my own actions in that call. I did it to Finn. I don't like doing it. The reason I do it to you is because that's the tactic you do
But
to
you
other
do it-
people.
You don't
If you're going to do it to
Crystal, you never disavowed your actions when it came to Sasu. You only disavowed your actions after the call was released. That's when you disavowed yourself. And it's not even genuine.
other people consistently, I need to do it the same way. Because if that's fair ground for you to do, I will hold you to your own standard.
I said this in Beckett's stream. Rin was already spoken to about the way that they use the FCK Leaks account. I didn't know why it keeps being brought up. I already clarified this with him. So, Teddy, I think the reason why he's not willing to budge from that is because he has a personal vendetta against Rin. And I don't know why. I don't get it. It's starting to look obsessive. I talk to Rin on a daily basis, and Rin does not talk about Lio. We talk about other things. Lio just can't move on from it. So as much as Lio's willing to say that Rin is a stalker, Lio, you're the same thing, my guy. Just stop talking about Rin.
Who do I do it to, Crystal?
Rin, prime example, right now.
Okay, hold on. Rin, the person who ran around claiming I'm an abuser.
You are an abuser.
Rin, who ran around getting upset over things that they had no business in. Rin, who weaponized the platform for victims for their own selfish gain. Rin, who is still to this day constantly lying about things that happen. Rin, who
Rin's not even lying. What are you talking about? Rin's not even around, dude. What are you on?
stalked someone for 4
Wait, this is from this month. I'm out of the loop. What is happening here? So this is Lio confronting Crystal on the way that they've treated Lio publicly. This call took place on June 6th.
years and still has to be the victim. No, Crystal, those aren't
Lio's projecting here. Totally. Absolutely projecting.
the same things. You want the difference is I own what I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't own what you do because you have a response video of you dismissing your actions towards people. You couldn't even take accountability when it came to the Rosa Ray Ramsey call. The reason why you couldn't take accountability when it came to the Rosa Ray Ramsey call and why I think that is because you doubled down while apologizing to them. Hey, Cosmic. When doesn't he project? Exactly. Wolfie says, Can Lio keep Rin out of his fucking mouth? I feel so much empathy for Rin. I hope they're doing okay. Rin's okay. Rin's fine.
Okay.
Rin I mean, I don't want to speak for Rin, but sometimes Rin gets anxious when it comes to stuff like this.
Again, ask for an example. You ask for someone, you did it.
I really wish they would leave Rin alone.
I'm just giving you an example.
It's not an
Well,
example,
what?
Crystal, because it doesn't meet the criteria.
It does meet the criteria. Oh God. Oh my God. I hate you, Lio. I literally hate you. It does not. Literally, it does not. It's not up to you, Lio, the abuser, to constitute what is abusive and what is not abusive. Full stop. Stop it. Because by using your logic, Lio, right now, we would have to turn to Peaches and go and ask Peaches if they were abusive towards you. And then we would have to take we would have to take Peaches' word that you weren't abused. Because I guarantee you, using your logic, if we did go to Peaches and say, hey, by the way, Peaches, do you think you abused Lio Convoy? I guarantee you Peaches would say no. He would say no. I wasn't abusive towards Lio. Lio was abusive towards me. Using Lio's logic, we would have to believe Peaches. It's an uneven playing field. This is why I had an issue with Zach is not Kyle in my blood sports. Because Zach is not Kyle is demanding fucking screenshots saying that of Rin saying that they were abused. When I know for a fact, I don't even need a screenshot. I know for a fact that Rin was abused. I'm not going to sit here and selectively pick who is abused and who is not abused because that's disgusting behavior. And that's what they're doing. That's what all of them are doing. Lio is doing it. Lio and Zach, they're selectively picking who was abused and who wasn't abused. And they're weaponizing it. And it's absolutely gross, disgusting behavior. It's sick. Absolutely gross. If we are supposed to believe that Lio was abused by Peaches, then y'all better fucking believe that Rin was abused by Lio.
Ask for example, you hold accountable for actions they've done in the past. That is an
Oh my
example.
God. Crystal, you said that you don't do that to people. But you do it to people. You specifically say you do it to me because I do it to other people.
Yes.
Which if you're using Rin, you were doing it to me well before we talked to Rin. Pick a lane, Crystal.
So as
Lio, it's cringe when you say that. Please stop saying that, please. Please stop saying pick a lane.
And on top of that, I'm going to go ahead, because I only got 10 minutes here. So I'm going to go ahead and go on a little bit more. Number one, you, rightfully.
You guys can hear, guys, Lio is driving while this is happening, by the way. Lio's driving. Second occurrence of Lio driving and yelling at someone in Discord. Team Rocket says Leah distressed and said Lio changed their name to okay with sexual harassment after they said they would show DMs between Lio and themselves to you. Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting that they did that. He's driving. Yes, he is driving.
And I grant you this, got upset when I did not monitor and properly moderate the comments
He's gonna get pulled over one of these days. Mark my words, probably.
in my video on you, where people were saying all sorts of garbage about you to the point to where Zach and I went through and cleaned it up. You have people on that Rin call calling me an abuser. Are you okay with this?
No, because I don't. That one. And again, the only comment I had issue
Oh
with
my
was,
God.
was the
So I don't disagree with Lio right here. I don't think, and I don't know why we're doing this cringe behavior where people have to clean up their comment section and get rid of comments that other people that they're criticizing don't like. That is not the standard here, guys. If people are toxic towards Crystal in the comment section, let them be fucking toxic. But Crystal, it is unfair for you to sit there and go to Lio and demand that these comments get deleted, but then you don't do the same favor in return.
comments that you replied under. I didn't go through every single one. I only took issue with the ones you replied under.
The problem, Crystal, is that you want things on your end, but you don't follow through on the other end. And you have
I don't disagree with Lio right there.
Streamline objectively lying in the comments of the new call. Streamline says they won't talk to me because I won't listen. I did everything Streamline asked me to do the one time we talked. Everything. And you feeding questions to Mally, because I'm going to be real blunt here. Having finally gotten some rest and re-listening to that call, Mally didn't come in there to try to make a difference. Mally came in there to attempt to shame me and isolate me from other people. Because
Okay, bro, that's not isolation. Cut it out.
that's what Mally wants to do, because I have done harm to their friends. Friends who, by the way, have no problem claiming other people are rapists with their staff and not doing anything about it.
Nobody cares about the friends of Mally. You are deflecting, Lio.
Mally, who had no problem with Spocter's ableism, despite being a much larger channel doing...
Lio, you yourself are ableistic. Your audience is ableistic. People in the Cat's Lair are ableistic. Zach is not Kyle is ableistic. This is what I think is hilarious, is that they... BRB, I'm drawing. I'm trying to not subject myself to this too much, a little much for me. Yeah, please take a step away. Bye, Teddy. Take a step away. I'll give you a second. What was I gonna say? Again, when it comes to my stuttering, right? I stutter because I'm on medication for my health that causes me to stutter. It's a symptom where I have a difficult time speaking. But they want to sit there in the Cat Slayer Discord and call me an alcohol or say that I'm alcoholic. Say that I'm an alcoholic. You guys are ableistic. So don't sit there and be like, "Oh my God, I'm pointing out the ableism." You do the same thing. Hence why I've been calling you hypocrites this entire time. Okay, I think Teddy stepped away. I'll BRB later. Okay, Teddy. I think they stepped away.
much more harm and having the same type of connection to. Never said a thing about it then, and you sat there and you were happy with that.
Again,
You know, I've done some screwed up things. I'm not done. I've not, to this point, taken this tone with you in months. There's a reason why I'm doing it this time. I have not once taken you to task about anything, despite you lying to Gilded Poo, saying that I fussed at you about not being mean enough. I didn't fuss at you, Crystal. I had a nice, calm conversation with you. And on top of that, you lied twice in the Mlaka call. Number one, you did know about Sasu. It's why you can reference breasts and a beard. You've heard that call. Secondly, you have called me a friend multiple times. You have tried to tell me that you were a safe person that I could vent to because we are in similar positions of authority over vulnerable people. Why are you constantly lying to people? I don't understand, Crystal.
okay,
You want to hold yourself this way? Figure something out.
okay. The thing I assumed would happen is you mistook my civility as friendship.
You called me a-
Wow. So Crystal said, "You take my civility as friendship." That's interesting.
Friend!
I-
You called me a friend. This
Okay.
isn't my mistake. These are your words, Crystal. We're not playing that game. Not anymore.
Okay, now you finish. So,
Go for it.
taking my civility as friendship, or I'm able to relate to people.
Dude, that's like so fucked. If Crystal has called Lio a friend, and now all of a sudden Crystal is saying you've taken my civility as friendship, that is so shitty. That's so fucking shitty. Spockter's DID video was very ableist and completely incorrect in most cases, but he did delete it and doesn't stand by it. Okay.
Able to understand what they've gone through as conditions.
Leah, Beckett admits when streaming he turned Lio out here, so he had reaction to it on his stream. Oh, I'll have to watch it.
I am able to provide that. I like to treat how I like to be treated. So, again, if you assumed that we were friends, I'm sorry if I.
Poolside says Lio's a dickbag based, but no one deserves what Crystal hashed out. I agree.
Okay, but
Assume.
if
I didn't assume. You called me one, Crystal.
I,
You called me one. You did.
okay, I don't remember doing so. It's the same thing I did with Doodle Tones, where again I said we're colleagues, we know each other. I treated you the same way as I treated Doodle Tones.
Jessica Foss says, I'm new to this drama, but damn, this Lio is always yelling and he sounds like a narcissistic asshole. So, Jessica, I don't disagree with you right there. I completely agree with you. He is a narcissistic asshole. He's like, Lio's a low-cal. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I keep stuttering. It's just really hard for me. I apologize. I'm getting frustrated with myself. I fucking hate it. Like, I hate stuttering. Lio is a narcissistic asshole. Like, he is such a dick and such a low-cal that he gets pizza sent to his house because he's a dick. Because he's so mean on the internet. And it's like, bro, when you like realize that it's the way that you are, that's why you're getting pizza sent to your house. You're all right? Okay, thanks. I'm just getting frustrated. I hate the stuttering. Leah, please don't apologize for something you can't help. Stutter away. We're here listening. Okay, thank you.
We were civil with one another. That was it. It was the idea of like, in the Cat Slayer, we had the same amount of like, I could help you, you could help me kind of mentality. That's how I was approaching it from the very beginning. Like, I've asked people in Endless server, and people also assumed as of such.
I'm going to be real blunt here, because then
the other thing you said,
real-
about
Go ahead.
the lacquer tool. So you've mistaken the timelines. I was aware of
Leah, you're going to give yourself a complex. You occasionally stutter, but it's not bothering us. Okay, thanks, Joy.
everything about Sasu after the Sasu call. I was aware of
No.
everything. No, because again, the Sasu call
I
happened.
literally sat there
and
with
then-
you.
Yes,
I literally
yes,
sat there with you
me.
after you banned Sasu from your chat and ran you through everything and showed you the call.
Then you informed me. You showed me enough proof for me to ban them from the server. But again, I only heard all the calls afterwards.
Then you knew the basic of what he did.
Yes, the basic again. That's
Dude, everyone knows like Sasu is a shitty person. I know the basics of what he did, but that doesn't mean you get to treat him the way that you treated him in that call. You literally pushed a guy to his mental breakdown. What is wrong with you? That doesn't justify anything.
said. I knew the basics of what they did. I didn't know all the nuances. I didn't know the multiple calls. I didn't know there's a call in December, which was the breast and the beard call, which I found out afterwards, where I found out that was meant to be the last call. I didn't know that was meant to be the last call. If I knew that was meant to be the last call, I would have completely disavowed the Sasu call from the beginning. Because if again,
Or you could have
there's
just,
been
or
multiple
you could have just
calls-
not shown up.
yeah, no, I shouldn't have shown up. I completely agree. I shouldn't have been there. I should not have been within that call. I'm not going to deny I shouldn't have been in the Vin call either.
Because here's where I'm going to say, and then I have to leave because I have to be at another call.
He's driving, you guys, and he has to leave this call to be in another Discord call. That's how important Discord is to Lio.
You want to talk about somebody who's equipped to talk about Peaches, who knows more about it? You're talking to him.
I know, right? Shatterstar, more calls.
It's not
I-
you.
I would.
I let you, and that's fine because Peaches harmed you. But Peaches didn't string you along for 2 years using their life as weapon towards you.
Lio, you knew this from the very start that Peaches was like that. The fact that you're surprised by it is just, I'm perplexed. I don't get it. I don't understand. Obituary says now what call does he have to be in this time? I have no idea. It was probably like some random ass call.
I'd rather not victimhood. Peaches has wronged multiple people. Can't say you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ray says Leah allegedly he needs to be the one that one of his story time calls. Story time calls. I like the way that you spelled that.
Yeah, Peaches.
I'm just saying that I don't think you're the most
Story
qualified. You've got the most
baby talk.
information because you've been able to use people to get it. And let's make it clear here. That's what you did. You used people to get the information. And if you're honest about it, who cares? Same concern Becky gives me.
Rainbow says, for my job, I make 30 calls an hour. I swear, Lio makes more calls than me. Completely agree with you.
No, well, if you just want to say you're bullying people, go for it. I disagree because that's not what I want to do. But if you're going to be honest about it, just be honest. Just say, hey, I'm just using people. Instead of running to in-law to ask for clarification or ask for their opinion when in-law's entire reason why she's around, she was defending Nix and Jackie.
I actually.
Who cares? Who cares? This is deflection.
Here's a fun. So I actually reached out to Enla during that stream.
Enla.
When Peaches was disavowing it, and this is the reason I'm actually on quite good terms with Enla, because we actually came on to quite a good agreement behind the scenes. Because again, I'd rather not say like, oh, I feel X and Y about people. I'd rather talk to them directly.
I mean, it's not far off from what he's done for Peaches. Yeah. I don't disagree with you, Cosmic.
And that's what I did with Enla. Is like Enla has all the backlogs of all our conversations in relation to that. So we agreed to disagree on some.
Enla oh my god. Enla in law. Yeah.
Points, but they understood my perspective and they understood how I held myself, because Peaches was again the one who completely hijacked the Nix and Jackie situation, completely misframed Jackie and Nix to the point where they are also victims of Peaches. They took my story, ran with it, and now I've had to get in contact with Nix and Jackie and understand what the fuck actually happened, where do we stand, what's going on next.
One more thing there.
Mhm.
One single more thing then. Do you remember what you told me you would do if Peaches ever came back online?
Yes, I do, and I still stand by that.
What did you say? What did you say you'd do?
I said if Peaches comes back online, because they are somebody who has intertwined is something again I would rather not ever be said, because I've told you disinterest with the stuff you've told me in trust, and the stuff vice versa. We do not explain what it is, but
I'm not asking
Peaches
you
has
to.
dragged incredibly personal information, said to them in trust,
It totally is
and
cringe.
used it as tea in the BK server, where they were very much mixing offline and online stuff. So I've said they're more than welcome to have that break, to have that escape from being online. They've done absolutely horrible stuff. That's fine.
Cool.
But if they're
Cool.
willing to,
I'm glad.
if they're willing
I'm
to,
glad.
if they're willing to come back online, I'm going to make sure that this follows them to their real life as well.
Crystal, that is an L take. And I do not stand by it. And I don't like it that you are doing that. I disavow it because you are no better than Lio, Crystal. If you are willing to take it to people's personal life and perform life urination, you should not be a YouTube creator. I'm absolutely fucking pissed that this would happen, that you would say that. I don't care if it's Peaches. I don't even fucking care if it's Onision himself. That does not justify you going and doing life urination. The fact that you are sitting there fucking doing that shit is absolutely disgusting. And let me give you the reality of the situation. Crystal and Lio and everybody. Peaches is going to come back. They're going to come back. They're going to exist on the internet. They're going to try this again. They're going to try and make a platform again. They will try at YouTube videos again. They're going to come back. And I'm going to laugh at you guys when you fucking sit there and like freak out because Peaches is back. It is the reality of the situation. The fact that you're fucking sitting there, Crystal, and saying, I'm going to take it to their personal life is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Because then you open the door of opportunity for people to take it back to your personal life when you do something wrong with them. And I'm not going to feel bad for you. This is why I absolutely do not feel bad for Lio when he gets pizzas sent to his house, because Lio is more than happy to do life ruination and call people's parents. He fucking called a kid's school to make it look like he was a school shooter so he could get scared because he would get picked up by the police. That's why I don't feel bad for Lio. And Crystal, I won't feel bad for you either. Really shitty that you said this.
Yeah. So here's the truth of the matter, Crystal. I don't want.
What did I miss? Crystal just said, let me rewind it, but Crystal just said that they were willing, if Peaches ever came back, they were willing to take the stuff that Peaches did to their personal life.
That's fine.
Cool.
But if they're
Cool.
willing to,
I'm glad.
if they're willing to,
I'm glad.
if they're willing to come back online, I'm going to make sure that this follows them to their real life as well.
Yeah. So
See, they just admitted that.
here's the truth of the matter, Crystal.
I do not support what Crystal said just right there, and I disavow it. Crystal is not the Crystal, although not abusive like Lio, the fact that they take it to that extent is absolutely fucking gross. It's disgusting. How about we exist on the internet without doing life ruination, guys? Let's just do that. Let's not take it to people's real life. So simple.
I don't want to hear dick from you about me bringing up Rin's parents ever again. Rin called me an abuser on a platform they knew they had power on,
You are an abuser.
that is also directed harassment towards my wife.
I don't care, Lio. I don't care about your wife. And the reason why I don't care about your wife and the harassment that they experience is because you are more than happy to bring other people's family members into the situation. You spoke about Gilded Pooh's kid. You spoke about my father. I don't care. My empathy is out the window for you, Lio. Maybe next time, if you don't want your wife to get harassed, don't call schools. Don't call people's parents. Don't be a dick. It's so simple.
So I don't want to hear anything from your mouth about how I shouldn't bring up Rin's parents. They're lucky I haven't called somebody at this point because I'm getting real sick.
That is a threat, Lio. The fact that you are still saying threats is disgusting. Full stop. I do not like that. Rin doesn't fucking talk about you, Lio. Rin doesn't talk about you. Stop threatening them. Because if I was in this call, I would pipe up and say you're a loser. I almost said the R word. You're a loser. You're an idiot. I would have an issue with that threat that you just said.
People saying the Rin call was bad, when the truth of the matter is, they don't like the fact that I was angry at an ooh-woo baby person who's more of a snake than any person you've ever met in your life. Save the people who preyed on you, and I hope those people die in a horrible fire, and I hope they go to hell for eternity. That I'll be consistent on.
Yeah, I agree with.
But you do not get to sit here and judge me about bringing in Rin's parents as a point of their inconsistency. When you're willing to ruin Peach's real life because they gossiped.
Yes,
It
about.
was wrong. You and I are on that, but I don't want to hear it.
I've never heard somebody defend their abuser so hard. It's interesting how Lio defends Peaches like that. Very interesting.
The Rin call was
Very telling.
fine. Doggone, I didn't do a veiled threat. Now I gotta hop on another call with a bunch of dorks. I will see you all later.
See you later.
Human 28 left.
God, he's so fucking dramatic.
He is dramatic and he's cringe and I don't like it and I will laugh at it and criticize it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was a cool. But that's bound to
I'm
happen
gonna put him in a
eventually.
fucking anime one day. Fucking hell.
The more I hear Dakin Derpy Gamer says, the more I hear Lio talk more, I am reminded of the guy I heard talking this way to their GF while finishing undergrad. Disturbing, and I keep kicking myself for not speaking up. You're totally fine, Derpy. It's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. He's basically Leah. He's basically admitting he gets mad enough. Or if he gets mad enough of people calling him out for the Ren call, he will take action out on Ren. If Lio knows what's best for him, he would not call Ren's dad. If Lio knows what's best for him.
Oh my
That
God,
was bound to happen
please.
eventually. I'm glad it happened.
Like, yeah, I mean, the position is this, Crystal. I mean, it's pretty goofy.
It's not Ren's fault. Lio has a personal vendetta. I'm starting to think Lio's becoming obsessive over Ren, and I don't like it.
No, I put my incredibly
You know,
position. I have
you
been.
know, and I'm like, I've since people started watching me, I'm pretty fucking clear on shit. Stuff is A, content to me, but also B, like, it's very
Isher says, at what point do you stop, take a look around, and realize you're the biggest source of your own problems? Exactly, Isher.
you know, there's a challenge always with dramas as they move on. Yeah, get the content creator talk now. The challenge always, especially with so many moving parts, that like people do things through them that are dumb. It's like,
Cringe, they are the very thing that they don't want to be.
you know, I said this to Jibs actually, like early on. It's like you need to stop being in everyone's fucking chat, and trying to jump on streams. And Jibs, because it's Jibs, fucking listened. But it's one of those where like if you're gonna put out a statement on Sasu, that's fine, Crystal.
It's
But like,
Sasu. I just want to make clear, like it's like Hatzler in hindsight is explaining.
Crystal, if you know what's good for you, you would not make a video on Cat's Lair. I'm already telling you, do not do it, because I will be there to criticize it. And I would not blame if Lio made a response video to your video about the Cat's Lair, calling out the shitty behavior in the Cat's Lair. Do not be surprised and do not get upset when Lio makes a response video to your video. I implore you that you do not make a video about the Cat's Lair.
A lot of context behind why I did so, not to excuse it or downplay it, but it's just like, okay,
You've already been excusing it and you've already downplayed it.
here was my game plan, here was my intention, and Sasu and Rinko is part of that discussion.
sure, but like, you know, you're as the drama moves, because again, like I don't know if other people have said this to you, but I know I did, and we had this conversation that you need to like chill out more and take a step back and like not constantly involving yourself in everything to make it sort of like you a main charactering, right? Because you've heard other conversations with me about certain content that's coming out, or like a call on Lio, or like the boys will have something and doing their Zoomer shit, and I'm always like, hey, do you want me to wait on this, or do you want me to not release this because we're just laughing at it? Because there's a respect thing there, like of like who.
I don't disagree with Beckett here. I think Crystal should take a step back. It's because now Crystal put themselves in a position where people are like pissed off at them regardless. Even if like no matter what they do. And that's their fault. That's absolutely Crystal's fault. 100% Crystal's fault. Absolutely their fault. Boyfriend was talking for a second. I was like, what is he doing? Crystal put themselves in that position, and I don't feel bad for them. I am, like I already said earlier, I'm not going to sit here and criticize Lio for all the shitty things that he's done without criticizing Ponder or without criticizing Crystal, because what they have done is just as equally as bad. I'm more focused when it comes to the Sasu call. I'm more focused on Ponder and Crystal than Lio. And I think the reason why I'm more focused on Ponder and Crystal is because, one, Crystal, I expected more from you, and clearly that's my fault. I shouldn't have expected more from you because now I'm disappointed. And two, Ponder, you are very toxic in that call. Worse than Lio. Worse than Lio. And I have an issue with that. It's going to be a matter of time before it'll be a matter of time before before we can tell, sorry guys, it'll be a matter of time before we can tell that Crystal is fully stepped away. And I literally don't think Crystal is even able to step away. I think they're still going to exist. I think they'll just be just as involved as they were before, and I think they're going to continue to get called out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunderdome conversation between Kumo and Lio, Crystal somehow gets involved there. And when I had my live stream calling out Crystal was behind the scenes trying to reach out to me, because I will acknowledge I did promise a conversation with them on a live stream, but I changed my mind because I knew I was going to say something horrible within that call, right? My Discord wasn't even working that day. I couldn't even pull it up. But I have an issue where it's just like, you need to stop. You need to stop. I have a problem where you're like contacting and trying to explain clarifications. Crystal, I think you do stuff out of optics checking yourself, and it's pretty shitty. And I can't believe this is the one time where I side with Lio on this. I do not disagree with what Lio said to you and the criticisms he said about you. I disagree with what he said about Ren in regards to Ren, and I absolutely hate what he said in regards to Ren. But with what he said to you specifically, Crystal, I support. I agree with him. I think it's absolutely disgusting if you did call Lio your friend, and then for you to then turn and say, well, my civility doesn't constitute as friendship. That's pretty shitty. Pretty shitty. What is Laka saying? Laka says you're right. She's trying to contact me while I'm at work on Discord right now because they're doing optics checking. They only care about their optics. Crystal is only self-fulfilling. I can't, and I'm absolutely upset that Crystal would say, well, I only would call if what's their name? If Mally was doing the same thing Lio was doing, if Mally's doing the same thing Lio is doing, I would only call out Mally based on the level of my involvement. And it's like, that's so fucked up. That is so incredibly fucked up. It's absolutely shitty. Like, how about you just call people out for their shit behavior because they're shitty people, regardless of your involvement? I'm not going to sit here and freaking call out Lio for the shit that he's done, but not call out Crystal, because that would be absolutely 100% hypocritical of me. Crystal, you're wrong. You need to take the L. Don't, I implore you not to make a video about the cat slayer, because it's only going to get you into trouble and it's further going to cause drama, and I'm not going to be on your side. I'll laugh at you and call it out and criticize you. All right, moving forward. Let me end the recording, guys.